This is a Headgum podcast.
9999, a date which will live in infamy. This was the day Sega released its ill-fated Dreamcast console in North America. Loaded with technology that would be iterated and improved upon by imitators like a second screen in its controller and built-in internet capability, the console arrived stateside and province-side accompanied by a top-shelf lineup of launch titles: Soul Calibur, NFL 2K, and naturally, a game featuring its signature blue blur mascot, Sonic Adventure. But seizing the opportunity to smother a rival in its crib, Sony released Squaresoft's much-anticipated Final Fantasy VIII for PlayStation on the very same day, muting the reception for Sega's next-gen machine. And while the Dreamcast would become beloved by enthusiast gamers for its library of innovative and engaging titles like Jet Set Radio, Shenmue, and Skies of Arcadia, as well as quirky novelties like M-rated zombie typing tutor Typing of the Dead and maracas rhythm game Samba de Amigo, mainstream consumers were all too happy to wait instead for Sony's upcoming PlayStation 2, which also promised to play movies in the exciting new DVD format. On January 31st, 2001, less than 2 years after its North American launch, Sega of Japan announced the console would end production and Sega would permanently exit the hardware business. The dream was dead. The Dreamcast was dead. But Sega has since endured as a software publisher, with potent franchises like Persona, Yakuza, aka Like a Dragon, and Total War, and of course, the Yuji Naka-created Sonic the Hedgehog. And while the past 2 decades of games featuring Sonic and his shitty friends have been uneven, to say the least, the recent films featuring Sonic have brought in buckets of gold rings at the box office, released in partnership with once-rival Sony. And Sega has also partnered with the breakfast chain that has usurped Denny's as go-to sit-down restaurant for novelty tie-in menus, the International House of Pancakes. But is this menu as delicious as Sonic's beloved chili dogs? This week on Doughboys, we return once again to IHOP for their Sonic the Hedgehog menu.
Go, it's the Doughboys!
Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Nick Weiger, along with my co-host. I got a little act out here. Denny's and Regrets. The Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell.
Elton John.
To the tune of Benny and the Jets by Sir Elton John. Thanks for the great show, Jemmy and everybody else. Matt in Cincy. Our guest is also from Ohio. How about that?
I saw him.
roastedbirdfuck.com.
I saw him play it live.
You did really? Oh wait, that's right. You went with your mom.
No.
I'm misremembering it. I thought you took your mom to Elton John when she was in town.
I took my mom to Billy Joel.
Sorry, Mitch.
The other piano man. Dodger Stadium.
My family went to Billy Joel without me.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I watched wrestling while they were there.
Maybe the right move.
Saw Elton John in L.A. on his goodbye tour, which has lasted a really long time. And then in Atlanta when I was down there for Tomorrow War.
Wow. Saw him twice.
I saw him twice.
Did he do Benny and the Jets both times?
Yes, I think so. Oh, you know what? He opened with Crocodile Rock, and I was missing that. I saw him do it again.
Yeah.
When I was in L.A., I was coming in late with Armin. Is who I went with.
Yeah.
Great show, great performer, Wags. So you know what? I'm okay with it.
It's a fun roast.
It's a fun roast. I'll tell you.
And our roaster was saluting, was thanking Jemmy, but Jemmy and Emma are out of town. No Jemmy, no Emma. It's a dude's day.
It
is
is
just dudes.
It's a dude's day here in the office.
Fittingly for our guest, it's a dude's day.
Dude's day sounds like doomsday a little bit.
It does sound like doomsday a little bit. I mean,
Dude's Day, Doomsday? That sounds like
it's kind of a doomsday scenario. It's like a dude's day. It's like all dudes are left.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine a world of just dudes? You think it's paradise at first. It's like, it's just us fellas. And then you're like...
We could jack it whenever we want, boys.
But then you're like, what am I going to jack off to?
Shit.
Fuck.
Irma's looking pretty good.
Irma's not there, man.
That's
Dude's Day.
This is a nightmare.
It's a Dude's Day scenario.
Mother, sister, everyone's gone.
They're all gone.
I don't like this anymore.
No, I don't like it at all. Cows are gone. No milk.
Oh, my God.
Only bulls.
Well, that's good, though. Not a milk guy.
We got to use bull milk? Man. Well, 'cause I had some, felt like I was in the Garden of Eden earlier because I had some apple envy. You were over there with an apple.
That's right. I brought an apple from home.
There was some apple envy going on in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. More like the Garden of Eden.
I wish they had thought of that back then.
Can you imagine?
I mean, maybe they would have been laughing. They never would have eaten the apple.
They probably wouldn't have done it. They would have been like, that's fun.
Was there no other food? Wait, it was just the one. There was other food.
No, there was other stuff.
It was plentiful.
There was like bounty, but there was like the one forbidden fruit. I think that's the whole thing.
Was
just
the
like,
apple?
Yeah, but then the sin of man is like you can't resist the forbidden.
Would it be worth it for an apple? Do you think to risk all that for an apple?
Apples are pretty good.
Yeah,
and then it's also like it was just
the snake is like if you were Adam there, the snake is like you fucked the apple.
I'm super into pomegranates now, and I can't get any, so I just eat apples. And it's like a second tier thing for me because the whole time I'm eating it, I'm like, I wish I had pomegranates.
How do you? Here's a question, because I always think of like the pomegranate seeds or the pomegranate juice. Do you eat the flesh of the pomegranate?
No. You cut it open and you take the seeds out of it. And then you eat the seeds, and don't buy the ones that are already broken down because every one of them's rotten. Every single one. You get like a 70% chance they're going to be rotten. So
that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
It sucks. But if you can get a whole pomegranate, it's great.
But that's a very different experience biting into an apple versus eating the seeds of a pomegranate. So I get why you're feeling deprived when you're doing that.
It's sad. It's very sad. People that listen to guys and stuff know this. Before I left for California, like 3 weeks before, I ordered pomegranates off of a website. And it took them like 2.5 weeks to send it. I had to send them an email. So they got here like one day before I was leaving for California. So we just put it in a refrigerator in the bag in the box they sent it in and left. When I got home, I opened the refrigerator. There were only 2 rotten pomegranates in there, and I paid $35 each for them.
Wow.
It said $70, small box of pomegranates. So I bought it, and I thought it was going to be like 5 or 6. It was 2.
Two
of them.
Man.
I'm trying to order our lunch, by the way, if you're seeing why.
Look, you can go ahead and do that, but while you do it, like if we can multitask a little bit, you want to play your drop so we can introduce our guest.
All right. Casey, can you hit him with a drop? Yep. That's me playing the drop.
You're actually taking a shower.
Yeah, I was
standing over the drain.
That's why I thought of the
ooze. I'll think of it. It's something. I'll think of it. I'll think of it. Ooze. I'll think of it. It's something. I'll think of noggles.
That's why I thought of the
ooze. I'll think of it. It's something. I'll think of noggles. I'll think of it. Ooze. I'll think of it. It's something. I'll think of noggles.
That's why I thought of the
Dick Noggles.
Wow.
All right, a little of our friend Libby Watson there, I believe, in that drop.
It was great.
Yeah, great drop.
It was a good drop. It sounded good. And why? Because I can tell you exactly who it's from as soon as I just look at my email here. That's all I have to do is just look at my email.
Okay.
Yeah. Open up my email, look at it, and then I can give credit for the drop. That's right.
Email, looking at email. Little looking at email music. Got it? You got it?
Drop for tomorrow.
Oh, wow. I didn't even make it through the whole jingle.
Oh, you can finish.
No. That was towards the end.
No, please finish.
Email, looking at email. Mitch gonna find the email.
Wow. Well, the song is right. Drop. Oh, all right. So I was reading Emma's email that she forwarded it to. Drop for the IHOP 6 Sonic Menu. Oh, fuck. That's not it either. There's nothing in the email. That's the issue.
Wow. Empty body?
Drop credit, Boris from Chicago.
Wow. Thanks, Boris from Chicago.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Boris
Drops
from
at
Chicago.
birdfuck.com. Good work, Boris. Mitch, as I mentioned earlier, it's fitting that this is a dude's day. It's fitting that it's just us guys because we have as our guest, very, very excited to get him in the main feed.
Yes.
The host of Guys, a podcast about guys, Bryan Quinby is here. Bryan, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, I love Boys Day. My whole life is Boys Day. Actually, I live with two women, but I'm constantly reading guys talking.
Bryan, we were supposed to do this because you were in LA recently, as you were talking about with your pomegranate saga. And we were supposed to have you in studio. And then the day before we recorded, I got like the sickest I've gotten in my adult life. I was so fucking sick, and we had to reschedule your record. We had to reschedule Mike Hanford's record. It was a real bummer. I'm glad we're able to do this now. But yeah,
I'll be honest with you, it was just very unprofessional. I've ordered our lunch, by the way. Speaking of unprofessional.
Thanks, Mitch.
Mm-hmm. Our lunch is in.
Wow.
Should we tell the folks where we're going? They might want to know.
Sweet Fin Poke.
That's right.
Which I think we probably, I don't know how exactly these episodes are going to be sequenced, but we probably have already reviewed Poke Bar with our buddy Payman Benz.
Yeah, which got us maybe on this Poke kit.
And we talked about how we preferred Sweet Fin. And on that note, I want to real quick acknowledge, speaking of being sick, I got the rumblies as well from Poke Bar after we recorded, like Payman did. And so I'm going to amend my fork score right now. I think it's down to 1.5 forks.
Wow.
I think I'm deducting a full fork because I was saying I probably won't go back there. Now I really won't go back there. If I can't trust this place to not get me sick, like, what are we doing here?
What type of rumblies are you talking?
Yeah.
Like bad stuff.
It's just
Like,
a
I mean,
bit
like
of diarrhea.
Like, well, yeah, I was definitely dealing with like diarrhea, like you know, like bad shits, but also just like,
dude, it's the guys episode. It's all dudes. You can say whatever you want to do. You can talk about the consistency of the shit.
Right, yeah, I know.
Yeah, what's a diarrhea? Well, I mean, what kind? I famously posted a bodily functions ranking one time.
Yeah,
and
you had shitting last, right?
Yes, but if it's diarrhea, it's 3.
Yeah, diarrhea is a little higher. Actually, like that's the thing is like it's a looser consistency to your stool, so that actually like feels a little bit more pleasant. But the issue, Mitch, was more that like the stomach pain, more like the guts, like that was just like that general
Your guts
achiness.
are hurting.
My guts are hurting, like that intestinal distress, and that is worse than the bowel movement itself. The bowel movement, if anything, has a cleansing effect.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it feels. Look, the guys can talk about this. Us dudes, it feels good when that happens.
It's
sometimes when you're flushed out. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. It's like
ladies won't
necessary
get this.
This is just dudes talk. Bryan, when you were out here in California, did you have any good pivoting from shitting to eating? Did you have and the cause of shitting? Did you have any good food out here?
I weirdly was good while I was there. Like,
interesting.
I stayed at a very weird hotel that was like a casino too. It was a card casino where
did you stay in like the city of commerce or something? Where did you stay exactly?
Bell Gardens.
Oh, Bell Gardens. Yeah. It's because there's pockets out here. There's certain cities where like the card rooms are legal.
Yeah, that's what
Hollywood
it is.
is the city of commerce in a way too.
Well said, Mitch.
Most Chicago and Wall Street too.
Yeah.
I did.
Man, the dudes are smart.
Us dudes are pretty fucking smart.
I will say in LA, I don't remember anything I had that was crazy in LA, but there is a place in Joshua Tree called the Des.
Yeah.
That is so good. They had this sandwich, this turkey sandwich with pesto and I don't know, provolone cheese that I came home and tried to make, and it just isn't working out for me. Like, I can't get it the same way they had it.
Yeah,
so,
you can't recreate it.
Because
that's bullshit. I hate that.
Hate it.
It seems like so easy, and I'm not a bad cook either. I mean, it's a sandwich, so you wouldn't have to be a good cook to make it. But like, I can usually do something like that. But I've tried it like 3 or 4 times, and my daughter really liked it. So
she's probably just being nice.
No, not my sandwich. She didn't like my sandwich.
Oh, she didn't like your sandwich?
Of it. But I ate a ton
now I feel bad.
I ate a ton of acai bowls, and I usually get In and Out when I'm out there.
Yeah.
And I got it once, and by the time I got it back to the hotel room, it was lukewarm, and it made me feel horrible. And I was like, I'm not eating this anymore. But my favorite place was the Des in 29 Palms. That was like the big. It was really good. So I can't. I was so like when I was there. Because I went to Fairbanks, Alaska last year, in November last year, and this is a guy's podcast, so I can say this. And people who have listened to guys will know this. I didn't go to the bathroom for the whole time I was there.
Oh,
That's right,
man. That's bad.
And then
That's
I
bad
got on
news.
I got on the airplane, and then it was like, oh, it's time to like go to the bathroom. And I was like trying to hold it, and I was sweating in my seat. And the flight attendant was like, hey, I need you to go sit back by the bathroom. So I went back there, and finally on the airplane, feeling as guilty as possible, because I know you're not supposed to do that on the airplane, but it just happened.
Yeah.
So this time I was like, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'm going to eat a lot of fiber. I'm going to make sure that I go to the bathroom while I'm in California. So I really didn't have a foodie trip, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that. That's sensible. And like for me, like, and I've talked about this on another episode. But I kind of think of like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs for travel, and like thinking like shitting is so important to me, like getting a good shit out, that like when we travel for Doughboys, you were talking about fiber. I take those, bet you've seen them. I have these Benefiber packets I travel with.
Me
I have them
too.
3 times a day. Yeah. And it's so helpful because it just like keeps me regular when I have an unpredictable meal schedule. I'm going to different time zones. I maybe am eating something like that's complete garbage just because I need to have something in my body.
Man, going to the bathroom on a plane, horrid.
Awful. An
I
absolute
know.
nightmare.
And
I also am like,
it was a lot,
Yeah.
Mitch. I'd just say it was
oh
just
no,
a whole lot.
that sucks.
Well, on the way to Alaska, I got so hot on the airplane that I went to the bathroom and I ripped the crotch out of my underwear because it was so sweaty down there. And now people make fun of me on my show because I did that. But like, it really saved me because I was just burning up. It's a 10-hour flight. And I was just like, I went in the bathroom and just grabbed and ripped and had crotchless underwear for the rest of the flight. And that solved that problem. So like that Alaska trip, I was on my worst behavior possible the whole time. So this trip was the trip where I get to redeem myself and be normal. And then I tried to go down to Mexico to get drugs and had a whole thing.
Wait, what happened? Were you able to get into Mexico?
Yes, I did get into Mexico. I got it. I drove down there to Tijuana, and I knew that you could go to a pharmacy and they would sell you Xanax there. That's what I knew. And I was like, I'm going to get a little bit of recreational Xanax, you know, because I'm traveling. It'll be a nice, fun thing for me, you know. But I didn't even park the car. I drove around in a circle like for an hour and a half and got pulled over by the police. They searched me. And then they let me go. I got to the border patrol in line, stopped, had the dog run through the car and search me and ask me like all these questions. And then when I got to the border, they searched me again.
Oh my
because
God.
I was so suspicious. Like now that I've talked to my co-host Chris, I realized that I was maybe a little bit suspicious driving a rent-a-car, going to Tijuana for 2 hours and then coming back. I had not considered what that would look like.
Did you wait? So you said you drove around. But were you just like getting cold feet? Did you not want to actually go through with it, or did you end up getting the Xanax?
No, I didn't get the Xanax. That's really the main reason people make fun of me. They're like, it's really good that you didn't get it because they were gonna catch you.
Right.
I wonder how much trouble you get in for that.
Yeah.
I don't think you get in trouble for Xanax because it's a prescription medication. Not that I have a prescription, but I've heard you can bring like that Mexico can. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I failed completely at this whole thing. So, but yeah, I that was the only mishap on my last trip.
Did you rent the car in the United States and then drive with it into Mexico?
I did that, and
that's
they
also
said
I think
that was
not legal. I think right.
Well, neither is anything I was doing at that moment.
Well, it might be legal. I don't know. They had weird rules with it in Canada.
Yeah.
In a car for 8 hours, basically, because it's 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 2 hours driving around and getting searched, and then like it's just so fucking. Now, when I think about it now, I'm like, that was really stupid, but it seemed really smart to me at the time. Like, we'll have a nice little fun time with some drugs. I don't.
Right.
I like purposely don't have people that hook hookups in Columbus because I don't want to have access to drugs all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I just want to say a shout out to this Ritz crackers and cheese box.
Yeah, for people on the audio feed, and I don't think you've been very covert about your crunching, but you've been munching your way through some Sargentos and some Ritz. This is not branded content that Doughboys can't be bought, but nice little 2-pack.
It matched perfectly the cheese and the cracker.
Oh, it's fully 1-to-1.
On this pack, it was.
Wow, that's the dream.
No extra crackers.
There you go.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
This is a very dude question.
Yes.
You think you dudes would be able to resist that apple in the Garden of Eden?
I mean, if God told me no, I generally follow what he says.
Yeah, I probably.
How's this? What if it was a restaurant turkey sandwich and you only had homemade turkey sandwiches?
Oh, interesting.
I'd eat it.
I think, and I almost feel like that's unfair.
It's well, because like the apple, I think is if you maybe it's like the surrogate for your forbidden desire.
Yeah.
For the taboo. Yeah, I mean that's the whole idea. So yeah, it should be in your mind's eye what the most desirable food is.
That's a cheeseburger. Like I would definitely.
Yeah, I do it
like,
for a burger.
I love a burger and I like a smash burger, which is one that I don't think is possible to make at home, which I've been trying to do. I bought all kinds of hamburger equipment to try to figure out how to make them at home, but it never works out.
I like the phrase hamburger equipment.
Very technical. What do you do? You got a grill where you live? You're making that in a fry pan?
I feel like a flat top is the best way to do it.
That's the ideal,
right?
yeah.
I bought one of those griddles that are like cast iron that you put across two things.
Yeah.
And then one of the things you apparently need for a smash burger is a really good sharp spatula, which is the kind they use at the restaurant. And I didn't have one of those, but the last time I tried to make it, it was like so close, but it was still a little too thick because like Shake Shack joined the BDS, or Shake Shack is on the BDS, the boycott thing for the for whatever.
Yeah,
it's on that
I didn't know
list.
that. Yeah, okay.
What is
It
this?
just
What is
got
this
added to it. It's a
like,
boycott thing.
Yeah, it's companies you boycott for shitty politics, basically.
Got it.
Uh,
Talking very generally.
So
all
but it's my favorite place. That's my favorite burger. So the goal is to figure that out, like figure that burger out. And I don't know, because Five Guys is bad now too. Like not bad politically, but they probably are. I think the burgers are terrible there now.
It's declined there. It's like, so you're in Columbus, and we should talk about this a little bit because Columbus is, speaking of burgers, Columbus is the home of Wendy's, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Are you a Wendy's man?
No, I feel like Wendy's is dying.
It's
like,
fallen off a lot.
It's fallen off
lately.
a bit. We agree with that. Though I will sometimes go, and the spicy chicken sandwich will still be great.
That's still hitting usually.
Yeah.
My daughter eats that sometimes. I think when I first started listening to you guys, I remember talking to Nick and saying like Burger King is dead.
Yeah.
Like, I think this place is dead. And Wendy's seemed like it was like a few tiers over Burger King, but it kind of feels like Wendy's and Burger King are dying now. And I think like all of those classic places are going to fuck up and they're going to think that they can do what like Five Guys and Shake Shack and Chipotle and stuff. I think they're all going to fuck up and try to do that. And then everything's just going to be the same thing because the classic fast food places are struggling.
There is like this kind of conversion that happens. It's like you see that with the fucking we were just talking about the Wendy's spicy chicken, the which is its own thing. Mm-hmm. But since the Popeyes chicken sandwich, there are so many versions of the exact same fucking chicken sandwich, and it's all these companies that are just like so imitative that they're just like,
one cares anymore.
And then no one cares, and then it just becomes this generic feeling thing.
I haven't had that Popeyes chicken sandwich in a while, and I still do think it's very good.
That sandwich is great. It's just all the pretenders that are just like I could do away with.
You know what? I gotta say, I had BK the other night. I was at Tonga Hut. I was recording a friend of the pod, Super Dave, his podcast.
Oh, what's up, Super Dave?
And I had a few drinks and went over and saw Kong X Godzilla.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of bad. I like all the other ones, but this one was like was too much like all like CG cut scenes, and it barely takes place in the States.
I still haven't seen it.
I mean, not the States. I don't need it in. I don't need Kong and Godzilla in the United States. But it takes place in like a lot of it takes place in like Netherworld or the Kong world.
You mean like an Earth? It doesn't take place in like the Earth realm.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. What is the other realm called? Like Kong. It takes place a lot in Kong realm.
Middle Earth or under.
I think it's
Hollow
under
Earth. Hollow Earth is what it's
Hollow
called.
Earth.
Yeah,
that is
Middle
it.
Earth is the Lord of the Rings one.
This one, this was my least favorite of the Kongs. I feel like.
I feel
Casey,
like
you see
it's
it?
mine
I've
too.
not seen it.
Yeah, it's this one suffered, but I got a little bit of a Mitch's movie round. I've seen a few, and also it got me thinking of this idea. I know I got to get to Burger King in a second, but is there a food that you eat off of your body more than popcorn?
Any of those sorts of
Pretty
snacks.
good fucking question. You ask me.
It is a good question. I find myself
Pretty
doing
good
it with
fucking question.
Mitch. It's a great question.
I'm yelling at the listeners. Pretty good. What's this question Mitch is gonna ask? It's gonna suck. No, it's a fucking good fucking question.
It was a good question.
I mean, sushi, I guess, is like.
Well, that's like the horny guy answer. Like
Sure.
that's like
That's like if we ask the Headgum hunks.
Right. That's
sushi, of course.
I think popcorn is great, especially because you're in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm a bit of a popcorn skeptic, but I do find myself doing it with similar foods. Like if I'm like on the couch, like eating chips, and I get like Ruffles on my shirt or
Chips
like
are probably
Cheetos or whatever. Yeah, I mean that's a big one to eat off of my clothes thing. Brian, you ever eat off your clothes?
Well, no, I'm out on like chips. But like I don't like chips very much. I like soft things. Like I don't know if that sounds weird,
interesting.
But
you don't you don't need a crunch.
No, I don't like a crunch. When I eat cereal, I let it sit for a few minutes to get soggy. While like I'll just make it, pour it, wait about 5 minutes, come back, and it's time to eat the cereal, and it's delicious. I love it. So I don't eat a lot of chips. So I don't eat a lot of things like off my clothes because those foods are all, if I could pick one, it would be soft pretzels. I'm like obsessed with those. That's what I had in LA too. Wetzel's pretzels. That shit was great. I made my family eat there. I ate it before they got there. And I was like, we got to go to this place, man.
It's clear you're a fan of soft stuff because you're on the softest podcasters in the game in every sense.
Softer host.
Yeah, there's no softer in every way.
Mitch. The subtext is clear. I get all of it.
Wait, hold on. So
your Burger King thought.
Yes. Well, also, I guess popcorn is probably the number.
Popcorn's number one because you're in the dark, and it's little pieces.
I wonder if it is. Yes, I saw Kong X Godzilla, and I saw The First Omen, which I thought was okay. I didn't love it, but I thought it was good.
I liked it a little bit more than you, but I also did not love it.
Yeah.
Either you see First Omen?
Not bad.
I saw something. I've seen a movie every week for the past few weeks. I cannot remember what I saw last week, but
First Omen's not a bad for the big one of the big releases. I saw Free Time, which is this comedian.
I got to see it.
It was good.
I heard it was good.
It was it was a funny movie. But anyways, after I went to Kong X Godzilla, I went to a BK, and I got like a snack wrap sort of thing, a buffalo snack wrap, and Whopper. Look, I had a bit of the munchies. What can I say?
Colin Burgess, by the way, that's the
Colin Burgess. Yes, the
time.
stand-up. Yes, yeah. I think he's a stand-up. I don't know. He's funny. He made a good movie. But I got a Whopper, and the Whopper, as we say, Wags, the Whopper was hitting, and you know what? The fries were pretty good too. I had a good BK experience. It could make sense that because I was in North Hollywood, which we've talked about, like if you go into the Valley or if you go into Glendale, they usually
there's better versions of the chains. Is that the case in Columbus? Are there like different areas where it's just like, oh yeah, if you want to get there's the good BK is over here, you know?
I mean, the Burger King I live in downtown Columbus, and the closest Burger King is Terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 minutes away. And all of the chains are like 20 minutes away from here. So I stopped ordering Uber Eats when I moved downtown. So now I'm kind of a snob in a weird way. Like I eat at local eat at local places all
Sure.
the time now because I don't live close to any. I don't
Yeah,
live close
that's
to a
what's near you. Yeah, of
McDonald's or anything like that. So there's like a local chain here called Brassica that makes like they make these sandwiches that are like Mediterranean, and I get that a lot. But I have to really be dying for Burger King to want to go to the Burger King that nobody's ever at, and people are just sitting outside smoking weed until you pull into the lot.
I know that
McDonald's
feeling.
French fries. The main chain I eat is Potbelly sandwiches. I go to Potbelly's, I get the sandwich, and I go to McDonald's and get the fries because I don't like chips. So that's like my most kind of fast food thing, that chain thing. And I went
love
to
that
IHOP,
combo.
so-
Well, yeah,
it's rules.
I want to just to drill this down. Is the crunch aversion, is that like a sensitive teeth thing, or is it just
Nah.
like it's just purely just a matter of like it just doesn't appeal to you?
Your ancestors
Yeah.
probably didn't eat bugs because they say that we like chips. 'cause
That's
of
true.
bugs.
Yeah, it's the same sort of texture. The protein rich bugs. You
You
like
got
the crunch?
could see
sophisticated
my-
ancestors.
I could see my ancestors not being into bugs. I tried crickets one time and did not like them at all. So there's like taco seasoning on them. I was like, hey, they taste like taco seasoning. And I was like, they feel like fucking crickets.
Yeah.
So I don't like this.
Yeah, it is a
I'm
thing.
not a
If you're
bug. I'm not a bug guy. I'm not eating bugs.
I've had that. I've had like the chapulinas before, which is like the seasoned crickets or grasshoppers or whatever it is. And like I do like it, but it is like a mental hurdle if you're not used to it. You have to get over.
I don't want to get
Yeah.
over that hurdle. There's some hurdles
yeah,
in life I don't need to get over. That's one of them.
Oh, I get
bug
it.
eating. I don't need to get over that hurdle.
If we live in bug eating times, I'm just going to force myself to do it. I don't need to practice for
Yeah,
the
sure.
end times. Like my in-laws are now practicing for the end times, and they live in a chicken coop and they shit in a bucket. So like I do not understand like prepare, like I'm not a prepper at all. And
Yeah.
I figure I'll just do it. You know what? If it all ends, then I'll be there just doing whatever, eating bugs or whatever the fuck you end up doing after that.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I know you're about to move on to one, but
No, go for it.
what is your favorite? You may have said this, so I apologize if so. But what's your favorite fast food smash burger?
Shake Shack.
It is Shake Shack. Okay.
I think I really think that it's because it's small. I think what ends up happening a lot of times is the size of the beef, right? The amount that they use is still too high because for a while it was those huge burgers were like the style. I know when I was in LA, the first time I went to Burgers Never Say Die, and I thought that was the perfect meal. I thought like they got it exactly right. And I still think about that meal. But if I have to pick a chain, it's definitely Shake Shack because they I guess they use less beef.
Yeah.
Like they're smaller, and that's what you're looking for. And I don't think they quite understand, like a lot of these places quite understand that, like, I don't want a huge fucking like burger. Like I don't like that. How are you even fucking supposed to eat it? And so I think it would be Shake Shack, which that's why I'm trying to learn how to make burgers now because I have to fucking boycott it.
Right.
Burgers Never Say Die. Quincy
That's
guy
right.
started that place.
Yeah, there's a Quincy
who I
connection.
know. And then
So good.
there's a place called For the Win that I tried that's smash burgers. And it used to be this restaurant called Papil's, and I had it the other night. But you know what happened, Wags?
What's that?
The ketchup had turned in the Mitchell house.
Oh, what a bummer.
The ketchup had gone bad. You know, it just like tasted off. It's been too long.
What do you keep it in the cabinet? You keep it on the counter? You keep it in the fridge?
I keep it in the fridge mostly. My mom used to always just keep it. I'll go home and my mom just keeps it in the cabinet.
Yeah.
And I told you this, I think,
We've
before,
talked about
where
this,
it's like it gets like brown, and I'm like, this doesn't look good to eat. And she's like, it's fine. It's got vinegar in it. That's what she says to everything.
I think she is. I think she is right there. Like, I think
yeah,
you can,
maybe technically right. It tastes like shit.
Yeah. I kind of like it more because I don't like cold ketchup or cold mustard. Like, you know,
I love it.
You like it. You like the contrast.
I
like the
get
cold.
that. I don't like it cold either, but for preservative sake, I like to keep it in the
It definitely lasts
and
longer.
even that had turned. Even this ketchup staying in the fridge had turned. It
Right.
took too long.
I have never in my life heard of ketchup turning. Like this is really the first time I've ever heard
My
of
ketchup
it.
had turned. It turned bad.
My grandma, Joe, R.I.P. She would like it. She didn't drink soda herself, but she kept them in the fridge for guests. And like, we went to visit her, and so she'd had this like Pepsi that had been sitting there for like 6 months or whatever, and it had expired. And have you ever had expired Pepsi?
That's gnarly.
It fucking tastes like shit. It tastes like you're drinking saline. There's I don't know how it happens. That just like the sweetness completely dissipated.
By the way, I call your Grandma Joe Grandma Brandon.
How dare you?
You get it?
I get it. It's my beloved grandmother.
I love her too.
Don't call her Grandma Brandon.
Well, I just don't. That's. There's other grandmas that I think of.
If you're gonna say that, I'd say let's go, Brandon, because I love my grandma.
Well, all right, fine. That's fair. Hold on. I got more questions for you. I got a couple questions.
Go for it.
One, does everyone fit snugly into a airplane bathroom? That's my first question.
It's
No.
yeah, because for me it's as much as anything, it's a height issue. Like I can't believe how much I have to fucking duck into one of those.
You fucking tall thin man over here.
No,
you
I'm not
piece of
thin.
shit.
I'm not even saying I'm thin. I'm a fat piece of shit too. But
Yeah,
I just
thank
I'm saying like, don't you feel that? Don't you feel like you have to duck? And I hit my head in airplane bathrooms repeatedly, so much so that even if I'm just peeing, which is like 95% of the time, that's what I'm doing in an airport bathroom.
Sure. If you're not, it sucks.
If you're not, it's an
trip.
absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm not jacking off in there.
Oh, I mean, we didn't assume that.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to say, like, whatever that 5% is shitting, 95% is.
Now I am questioning the 5%.
Yeah, now I think at least 2.5%.
But like, I just sit down to pee just so I don't hit my head.
Okay, you never like at least gave it a stroke or two?
No, man, I don't do that shit.
Yeah,
Have you?
Yeah, right. Have I stroked it? I mean, not up there. No, come on, that's crazy.
All right.
Mile High Club.
If you stroke it just once in the bathroom?
Yeah.
All right, if that is the case, then I will join the Mile High Club at some point. I'm going to stroke it at least just once. I feel like the Hulk, I feel like Hulk-ish. I feel like the sides I just feel like my shoulders are not fitting in there. I mean, I'm a fat piece of shit too, of course.
Sure.
But I can't fit in the airplane bathroom. I think it sucks.
I was so nervous when I had to shit in the airplane bathroom that I was kind of hovering over it and pulling the door shut. Like I was just terrified that I'd be in there shitting and the door would fly open, which already everybody knows what I'm in there doing, and I ruined their flight. Just like, please don't come in here.
God, I try not to ruminate about that, but whenever I think of a situation like that where I'm like, other people are now telling the story of the thing I did that I'm embarrassed about.
Man.
They're like, I was on this plane. This guy went, but like, I was sitting near the bathroom. This guy took this fucking huge shit. And fucking stunk
Massive.
for like 2 hours.
That's like the guy who puked on my ass.
Yeah, right,
I'll
yeah.
tell that story forever. He puked on my fucking
And that
ass.
guy doesn't know that that's being told on a podcast.
He should know.
I'd been hoping to puke. I'd honestly had been hoping it was puke.
Yeah.
Like, when I was sitting in the seat that the flight attendant moved me to, I was like, please be puke, please. Because I like
It's less
puking.
embarrassing for whatever reason. It really is. I don't know why. It's like, I think people are like, you can control the other one, which isn't really the case. But, like with puke, they're like, oh, I feel bad for this person who's sick.
I think
It's
I had
bullshit.
puking at number 2 on my body functions list. I can't find that again, but it was like nutting, then puking.
Right.
Puking is the second best bodily fluid.
I'd put pissing over
It
puking, but I
rules.
do understand that puking makes you feel better always. Like anytime I
Yeah.
puke, I'm like, oh man. I mean, last time I was sick when we had to reschedule the
Ralph?
sport. I did. I fucking puked. I
You
puked really,
Ralphed.
really painfully to the point where Natalie was asking through the bathroom door if I was okay.
Dear God.
I was like, I won't make the sound now, but
King
it was,
Ralph. Yeah, that's
yeah,
bad.
I was puking, and then I kept puking, and then I was just puking like the remnants of what was in my empty stomach.
Jesus
so it was
Christ.
it was horribly unpleasant, but afterwards I did feel a lot better.
I want to kill myself before I puke. So it's hard for me to get there. I don't like doing it.
Love
So
it.
I would say crimming and then pissing would be my
I'd
order.
probably put pissing above puking, but I do understand the case for puking. I don't know where I'd put shitting, because shitting sometimes
I hate it.
you just hate it always.
Hate it so much unless it's diarrhea. I just hate it so much. It's just caused me so many problems.
Yeah.
In my life. Like, it's embarrassing.
It is.
I think
loud,
I think it's more embarrassing than anything else.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's
up there.
the worst thing that you have to do in life to me. And I just, and you're always, once you get old, you always have to be thinking about it too. It's like you have to, like, I don't remember being like 20 and being like, oh man, I got to figure out a way to, keep my shits regular.
Yeah, no.
For me, I think that was I think it just never.
That was like an early burden.
I think it just was always a burden. Sucks.
Yeah. No, I definitely was more like did not really think about shitting at all until I was like 30. And then from that point on, it's like just completely dominated my life. And to the point where I'm just like, I just try to make it. I just try to front load it where I'm just like, I can do my, if I get a good AM, BM, then I'm just set for the day, and I just try to engineer my schedule like that.
Lay an egg at the
exactly, and
then
just move on from there.
It seems like it aligned with you doing the podcast almost. It feels nearly in line with us doing this bullshit, which I've just done forever, anyways. Right. My second question to you was how is it with that griddle? How's the grease management? Does that thing grease up? Is it hard to? Like I would be nervous about the grease.
Another good
everywhere.
question from the Spoon Man.
It has like a lip up on the side, so
okay.
It could very possibly get somewhere. So what I did in order to not have a ton of grease, I made bacon, because my favorite cheeseburger on the planet is the Western burger that nobody makes anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
do they have
Carl's Jr.
Do they have parties out there, Carl's Jr.?
No, they don't have either one of those here.
Oh,
yeah. You just can't get one.
BK does a rodeo burger, but also, as you said, you don't like BK is pretty bad. So
your particular BK.
Yeah, the Western, I just love that onion ring with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, and bacon. So that's what I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
And so I did the bacon first up at the top of the thing. And then as the grease went down, I just used that grease to make the burger instead of putting more grease on it.
Oh, wow.
Was the
smart.
And that worked out too. And it was way less greasy than I thought. So I think I'm getting close. The other problem is that your house smells like cheeseburgers for like 3 days.
Yeah, sure.
Which
and
for
my
some
wife,
of us, not a bad
my
thing.
wife is a vegetarian.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Oh man,
that's bad.
I got one of those. I got one of those air filters. Actually, I just have it positioned in our kitchen now, and it's actually pretty. Like I just have it angled away from the kitchen and towards the window, and then we just turn it on for like an hour anytime that we cook something stinky. It does a pretty remarkable job of clearing out the odor, and that was like a problem in our particular layout. All these apartments now, they have, I think this is just how anything is built. They all have like an open layout.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of want a closed kitchen. Can I have a kitchen that just like is a separate room with a door that closes that just keeps all the kitchen stink in there?
Sure.
So the entire apartment doesn't smell like whatever you last made?
I just like hearing this because I can kind of visualize what your apartment looks like a little bit, which I've never been inside of. But
you know what you need to know.
Palmerston had that little shitty the little flap door, remember?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with you. The living room and kitchen, all of it is just connected now.
Yeah.
My place too, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, next time you come out, you should try For the Win. Good. That's also another good smash burger. And you know what? Just seasoned. Like you eat it and it's like, oh, there's like pepper and salt on this burger,
exactly.
which goes so far.
So often
so many places don't do that.
Just give you a plain patty and it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Bryan, we got to talk about IHOP, but I do want to talk about Guys, the podcast, and Guys in general a little bit. I first off want to say, and I told you this off pod, but like I love the podcast Guys. It's so fucking funny, man. I'm on the Patreon. I'm listening. I'm laughing. Strongly recommend it to everyone out there. It's so great. And Mitch and I guested on an early episode. We talked about hot sauce guys, but I want to just do a quick run through of other like food guys you've talked about on the pod. Some of which were you talked about bourbon guys. I know you talked about foodies. You talked about wine guys, and then this is a kind of guy I really like, the Yelp guy.
I love it. I found my favorite guy on the Yelp. Well, recently, guy that reviews casinos and says, "You're going to hear from my lawyer because I came there 4 times and lost $900, and that seems impossible. I think it's all fixed. I'm calling my lawyer." That's my new favorite guy. But there was a Yelp guy on the Yelp episode that people love. I've read every one of his reviews on the show, and he had a very particular way of reviewing things where he would say, okay, so me and Chris have said this, that there should just be a 3-star scale everywhere. It should be good, middle, bad.
Chris James, your co-host.
Yeah. And I think that's like, because I don't think people can handle more stars. Like, I don't think people...
the people, no, you're right. People have trouble with the granularity between 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars. And so you end up with this like polarization of everything's fucking 5 stars or 1 star. And that the middle numbers are not helpful anymore.
We've talked about this, and I even on like Letterboxd or whatever, I don't like the 5-star system is bad. Anyways, it's not helpful. And then with restaurants too, it's like people, and like also like, you know, like if a restaurant is whatever, it's sometimes the restaurant does something fucked up, but if it's like, hey, they went to this place and this popular online reviewer didn't like it, then it's going to get swarmed with 1-star reviews and bullshit like that. I mean, there's been some revelations from looking at people we know's Yelp review. I won't say who it is.
We know some Yelp guys.
We know some Yelp guys. There's also a pretty famous director producer that was like a Yelp guy. I'm not gonna say who it is, but you see, and you can truly see what a psycho that person is if you look at their Yelp review. Who the fuck care? I mean, like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to be so mad about a review about a restaurant to write a thing about it. It's like, just don't go there anymore. It's fine.
I think if you give me 1 second, I'm going to read you one of this guy's reviews because I think you'll totally get why he's such a guy.
Right.
And his name is Tony K, and he lives in Vancouver, which is where my co-host lives. And here's the first review. 2 stars for the Flying Pig. And he goes, "Used to love this place, not anymore. To be fair, I used to go at lunchtime and it was pleasant. Went for dinner and didn't realize it turns into one of those bars where the rock music is not only played, but played loudly. I asked the waitress to please change the music or put the volume down, and she said she would, but she didn't. Sorry, you can appeal to one sense, taste, and do a good job on it, but butcher me on another sound."
And that's a part of the reason they gave it 2 stars.
Yeah. Well, you got to hear the pizza one is 1 star. Now, this pizza place had like good reviews, but it has 1 star, and he goes, "Great pizza, but 1 star for their water policy." And you're going to think this is one thing. I guarantee that it's the twist. He goes, "I asked for a cup of tap water with my meal. No, we don't have cups," they said. "Okay, I'll take your bottled water, but I can't drink cold water." But they only had refrigerated water. They offered me the demo bottle, which is displayed outside the fridge, but it was cold too. I don't mind paying $1 or $2 for water, but not for cold liquid, which upsets my stomach. And they weren't willing to go to the stock room to get a room temperature bottle. Oh, well. So, like I said, good pizza. Like I said, great pizza, lousy water policy. It's these 2 things where if the water is cold, that's bad. That gets you a bad review. And if you play rock music.
Right.
Like, that is the other thing, which I get it. I think like you can't give a place like a 1-star review because they're playing rock music, because you're the only person in the world that cares. I mean, like, I don't like going to Five Guys where they play that classic rock and it bugs me, but I would give it a bad review now, but the guy he's a menace in Vancouver, just giving 1-star reviews for places that are actually good.
That's just your personal axe to grind, and it's like there's a version of that where it's like a 3-star review or a 4-star review where we just like, note to anyone with sensitive ears, this place does play loud music. You know what I mean? Like, you just throw that in as part of your review, but to like think that your own personal hang up is something that like defines the place objectively. I don't know. They're anyway. That brings me to what I love about guys, which is just like there's so many just like psychopaths who just comment on everything, and it's just fascinating. Like it doesn't matter what like subculture it is. Everyone is like fucking crazy in some particular way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The foodies, I love the foodies episode we did with Branson from episode 1 podcast. And there is a guy that was in the foodie subreddit that argued all day that taste is objective, not subjective. So he was like, he's explaining like if you say you don't like that, you're wrong because it's actually good. We've all agreed on that. And it was just such a weird thing to fight about all day. Like that's the thing that goes on really is like on Reddit. Yeah. It's just guys fighting all day about everything, about guitars, about the Beatles, metal detecting, like everything I've done, I've been able to find guys fighting with each other. And then there's another guy that came out on the Sales Guy episode that he's let us down recently, but his name was David the Shark. And he only posts on LinkedIn and he only replies to like hot women and he pretends to be a shark in the reply. So he talks like, I can't read books because I'm underwater and, you know, a shark swims with its school of fish and stuff like that. Like at first we were like, maybe he means shark like Mark Cuban, but he literally means the animal, like he's a shark.
He's LARPing as a shark, yeah.
Yeah, just the stuff I've been able, the stuff when you really like, if you ever want to like do what I do, basically what you do is you pick a guy, you go to the website on Reddit, and if you want a good laugh, type wife in any of them. Because every one of them, the guitar one, this guy's mad because his wife's mad because he has too many guitars and he's sneaking guitars downstairs without her knowing. Like he just he's constantly buying guitars and he's mad. And the guys in the subreddit are like, how many pairs of shoes does she have? How many perfumes does she have? It's like, I can't believe this is still happening.
We certainly don't have any psychopaths that comment about Doughboys.
No, certainly not. No.
We got into a fight about it last. I sent him something from the Reddit last night, and Wags, you snapped on me.
I was about to go to bed. This is the last. I was
confused by what the Reddit person was saying about something about us using gift cards for Buffalo Wild Wings, and then
what are they talking about? I was like, I don't need to see this shit. Why are you sending this to me?
And then I asked Wagger. I said, if you were poisoned. And the answer to the solution for your poison was like the ingredients were on the Reddit. Would you let me text it to you? He said no. He'd rather die than hear anything from the Reddit ever again.
I said I would die of poisoning to prove that I was serious. And if you don't believe me, then you don't know me.
I do know you. And I know that you would do it. You're psychotic.
Nick, I'm with you. Chris sometimes will go looking at stuff and he on a show one time was like, I was on the Murder X Bryan subreddit and I was like, no, there can't be one of those. Like the fact that there's one, but everybody says they say nice stuff, but I'm afraid of them.
Yeah, sure.
So I can see one thing and just be like, oh, I suck, I should just quit.
It ruins your fucking day. Like I don't need to see that shit. Or you're also like, you're mad at someone and it's just like, that's again, it's like the water guy. It's like, this is one specific person's specific issue that actually does not reflect like a larger consensus, but because it's like negative and it's about you fixate on it and it becomes this thing that gets blown up big in your mind. So it's like it's just healthier for me to not engage with it at all.
I get
it. There was one time, right, where we did the Rockabilly Guys episode. And a guy on Twitter,
classic guy, by the way, like one of the all-time guys, fun. The Rockabilly guy.
It was it's with Brace Belden from TrueAnon too, so it's an insane episode. And a guy got so mad, he posted about us all day. He's like, what are these nerds talking about? Rockabilly's weird and you don't know nothing about rockabilly and rock music's cool. And I loved because he spent all day and then he deleted them all, which was a bummer.
Yeah.
Because it was very funny how mad he was because he was obviously just that's one of the things about our show is that like if you search for some of the things we've covered on the podcast app, we might come up. And so it's like, if you search for Kevin Smith and you see something called Kevin Smith Guys,
Right.
then you probably might click on it, or like Seth MacFarlane Guys, which isn't even out yet. But yeah, so like,
yeah, just because you're a fan of it and you're like, oh, I'll listen to the Kevin Smith Guys episode, and then it's just like all making fun of people like you. Then yeah, maybe you specifically, you know.
Well, I have taken on, like, that's the thing they all say is that I take on most of the guys that I have. Like, I've bought these challenge coins.
Yes.
Because the Chive sells them. And I own a Kevin Smith challenge coin and a Chris Farley challenge coin. I can't stop buying them. I bought magic tricks.
Can you bring up because I've only heard about this on the podcast. I haven't actually seen it. Can you bring up the Matt Foley, Chris Farley challenge coin?
I'll get them both up. People keep saying it's not a coin, which is bullshit. The Chive called it a coin. It's a coin. The Chive would never. The Chivery has never lied to me before. I've only really bought the one thing. It took them forever to send it.
By the way,
I almost impulse bought a lifetime subscription to the Chive when we were recording the episode, because they send you a coin. I think I like the coins, but I don't want to buy them because, like, some of them are $3,000. Like, you can buy a Bill Murray coin for $3,000, and
that's insane.
They sell out, and they'll be like, it's legal tender in someplace. So
Mauritania or something.
Yeah.
Some
and
small
I
nation.
said, I think my goal is to make enough money to buy the one that's legal tender, fly to the place where it's legal tender, and try to spend a Kevin Smith coin at a store and see what happens.
By the way, we become more of hot sauce guys. We did the hot ones, which has that still? It still has.
We did not do the hot ones. We did a Patreon segment.
No one thinks we did the hot ones.
When you say we did the hot ones, some dipshit is going to think we're going to be on an upcoming episode of the hot ones.
No one thinks
that it'll be like Serena Williams and then the Doughboys and then Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
like that'll be like we're on that same tier of guests.
I think they know that we're not.
We're not. We didn't do
me.
Yeah. We did we did the hot sauce. We tasted a bunch of hot sauces on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm part of why we did hot sauce guys. I'm a bit of a heat seeker. I like spicy foods, but like there's a specific guy who is trying to just like pursue I guess it's like a dick measuring thing, but it's also like maybe just like actively liking hurting yourself. I don't know what it is exactly. Yeah. Some of those super hot sauces are just like actively unpleasant.
Yeah. Most of them.
I'm sorry. The thing I remember from the episode that we did that I'll never forget is like, there's this 9 million Scoville hot sauce extract that people use to keep squirrels away from their garden.
Yes.
And you can go to Amazon and read the fucking reviews, and guys are eating it. And you're like, this is fucking pesticide. But they're giving 5 stars because it made them feel like they were going to die. Like, I had this chili. I had like something last week, and like, I'm like in the middle. When I get Indian food, I get 3 spicy, which is right there. It's
good burn.
Above
that's
average.
Pretty good. I go close to mild now, but yeah, that can be a lot.
I go 3, and I was like, oh, I guess I like spicy food now because it's not a big deal. And then I got this hot chili powder at an Asian grocery store, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this on a sandwich or something. I don't remember what I even decided to throw it on. I took 1 bite, and then I chugged my water, filled it back up, chugged my water, sat on the couch, like with my tongue out, breathing and sweating. And I was like, no, maybe I don't like spicy stuff at all. I'm not cut out for this kind of thing. But
yeah,
the guys that eat, I think the thing that we've found in the time since we've done the Hot Sauce Guys episode is that like there's no too hot. Like people will just they're going to keep going. Like I really think that somebody probably has sprayed pepper spray on their sandwich to eat it because that's just hot sauce.
I'm sure.
Really.
I bet you could find that on YouTube or something. I'm sure someone's done it.
I'm going to be looking for that when we finish.
The one thing I'm jealous of is that we don't have a fish reviewer, some sort of shark or fish reviewer like that.
That would be nice if someone
yeah.
if someone in the Discord wants to, LARP as a shark.
Yeah,
or maybe not shark, maybe like a different sort
some
of
sort of fish.
Yeah, some sort of large sea creature.
I guess we also did on that episode the other thing that everybody still brings up when I see somebody is like, so you really think that Hot Ones is rigged? So I went back and listened to what I said, and I said on the show I said I don't think it's rigged. Both of you guys said I think it's rigged now. This is
we said it's rigged.
That it's rigged. Both of you.
I can totally buy that it's rigged.
I can buy that it's rigged, but like, in what way do you think it's rigged?
I think what we were saying is that like they're like there's an arrangement. Like, do you remember when Hillary
didn't DJ Khaled quit?
Some of them quit immediately.
Yeah,
but
DJ
I think there's I can buy into the conspiracy theory that there's some sort of arrangement that there's like, hey, we actually got mild sauce in here, but you're just going to act like it's spicy, and because you don't actually want to deal with it, but you want to have the the cachet of going on Hot Ones. It's like, do you remember when Hillary Clinton went on like whatever that talk show was? It was like Kimmel or whatever, and she like opened a pickle jar because like during 2016 they were like, oh, she's too old, or that was like the weird narrative at the time, even though she's like way younger than Biden and Trump are now. But like, so I like that's the sort of thing. It's like, that was just rigged, right? They just gave her a loose pickle jar for her to open. Do you think they actually were like, this is going to be tough for her to open, and she's got to do it for real and risk her struggling and doing it?
I think she did it and then went backstage and died, and that's when they put the double in.
I do think the difference is that part of doing Hot Ones is that you have to look like you're in distress.
Sure, that's true.
That's part of the whole thing. If you don't look like you're in distress, it's not fun to watch, and people will say, I think it's fake. They used fake hot sauce or mild sauce. But I also can buy that maybe Katy Perry doesn't want to be snotting out of her nose and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But I feel like you're right that that's such a part of it. Now that you're on the other side of it, you've done the Hot Ones challenge, which should come out.
That's right.
Still hasn't come out.
Yes.
What do you think it's still rigged?
I think that I think that I can buy the argument. I can buy the theory that it's rigged. I also like to say things are rigged. Like even things I say the NBA is rigged. I'm wearing a Seattle Supersonics hat, but like I do think the NBA is rigged. I still like it.
Yeah.
But so there's
Celtics got 0 free throws the other day, so this is just good
timing. By the time
timing.
this episode comes out, they probably won the NBA Finals. So
Hell yeah. Fucking rules.
Classic wrestling fan thing to say.
Yeah.
It's all work. Everything's a work.
Exactly. Yeah. No, there's some fun to saying it's all a work. There's some fun to saying it's rigged. So I do get that side of it. But if I'm actually lie detector, I don't think the Hot Ones is rigged.
Yeah.
I want to say,
I don't think so.
I don't want Mitch to get really mad at me or anything, but I used to run around saying that when the Patriots won the Super Bowl right after 9/11, that it had to be a work, and they just wanted a team called the Patriots to win. Now that I'm a little bit older, I think you would have had the Giants.
You would have had the Giants.
The Giants or the Jets. You should have had the Giants or the Jets to win for sure. It's the same with the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees in that World Series.
Yeah, that
year.
they should have rigged that for the Yankees.
They should. I mean, I hate the Yankees,
rigging.
but sure, yeah, why not rig it? If they've won who cares? One more.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Mitch, most Americans think they spend about $62 per month on subscriptions. But get this, buddy, the real number is closer to $300.
Wow.
That is literally thousands of dollars a year, half of which you've probably forgotten about, you dipshit. Thankfully, I started using Rocket Money. They found a bunch of subscriptions I'd forgotten all about and then helped me cancel the ones I didn't want anymore.
300? Wow. Wags.
Great for Spartans, bad for money you're spending on unwanted subscriptions.
Exactly what I was going to say. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings.
With Rocket Money, I have full control over my subscriptions and a clear view of my expenses. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something I don't want, Rocket Money can help me cancel it with a few taps.
I love how the dashboard shows me this month's spending compared to last month's, so I can clearly see my spending habits. Plus, they'll help me create a custom budget and keep my spending on track.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They'll deal with the customer service for you.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features.
Wow. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/doughboys. That's rocketmoney.com/doughboys. rocketmoney.com/.
For Sparta!
We got to talk about IHOP. We
We gotta talk about that little blue fucker.
We first reviewed. Hey, speaking of guys, Sonic the Hedgehog guys, those have got to be.
That's the blue fucker I'm talking about.
Also, the Sonic guys from the Sonic commercials.
We love the Sonic
sort of
guys.
They
They should bring them back. We've said.
I love those guys.
It's fucking families now. Who cares
Get
about
the families out of
Get
here.
the
Bring
fuck
back the
outta here.
guys. Well, they're making this.
Single guy. This is a place
What's-
for single guys to eat, okay? For the bros.
I don't want to hear about this fucking. Now that's rigged. Like a family, like it's a family of 4 or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's
sure.
like these quirky family that's like, I like to dip my onion ring
No,
in
those
the
are just
shake.
those are just
Get the
actors.
fuck out of
That's
here! It's
not real
fucking
at all.
bullshit.
IHOP we first reviewed as episode 3 of the podcast back in 2015 with Allison Augusti. Most recently reviewed with Sean
Rise of the
Diston.
Sith. Is that
to
what
talk
it is?
about
What? No, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
Yeah.
We most recently reviewed it with Sean Diston, our friend, talking about the Minions menu, and IHOP has become the place that has all of these movie tie-in menus, as we talked about when we had Matt Singer on the Patreon. IHOP has kind of like taken the baton from Denny's, and now they're the ones who do all these things, including the Sonic the Hedgehog menu, which they launched on April 1st. Now, the bummer about this menu is it is very much just reskinned existing menu items.
And also, why are we seeing this little blue fucker right now? It's not. There's no Sonic movie. The Knuckles show is coming out a little later.
It's odd timing. Its particular release. It feels like it's just like a general like awareness of Sonic the Hedgehog. There is a tie-in with the most recent Sonic game, which I can't remember the title of.
Okay.
Where you can get an Amy Rose like costume, like an IHOP costume, from using your pan coins, which you get from using the app to pay for your. It's like complicated, but
could we have gotten that skin?
We could. We probably could still get it because I just need to scan the QR code on the receipt and put it into my app.
Shit, we need to get it.
Yeah, but let's. Brian, I want to talk about.
Is it like a pretty sexy outfit?
It's like a IHOP sort of like apron. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sexy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Brian,
it's tasteful. It's tasteful.
Okay,
Kids play the game, but still pretty sexy.
Well, I mean,
it's only dudes. We can talk about.
Yeah. Is it sexy or not?
It's pretty sexy.
Over text, I was shipping Amy with Shadow.
That's right.
And you were getting mad at me.
I said it was disrespectful to Sonic.
Yeah. Well, then I shipped you and Sonic.
You shipped me and Sonic, and that fixed everything.
I'm looking at the subreddit. I could probably do Sonic guys. I'm seeing they have to put a specific rule: do not post sexually explicit content. So, I could probably find some stuff there.
You hook up with Sonic, and even Sonic is like, "Wow, you nutted pretty quick." Even Sonic says that about
saying
you?
that. Sonic Superstars is the game. I'll try to find a pic of the Amy Rose outfit.
Yes. Send a papa.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah, I think this is very much a child. So now
it's like a chibi Amy Rose.
Yeah,
so
it's
like,
not fun.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
It's not as fun as I hoped it would be. Brian, I've noticed Sonic's an enemy in a way is Bowser sitting there behind you.
Yeah, this is because you two have speaking of guys that you like end up becoming as you research them, you become something of a Lego guy.
Yeah, the 1-year anniversary episode was Lego guys, and I just let Chris and Mike Hale from YKS make fun of me for 2.5 hours. So yeah, I weirdly got really into Legos and got to
Was it after recording that? Was it after doing the Lego guys?
No, it was before. That's why we did it. Because people were up my ass about doing a Lego guys episode.
Right.
Because I have Legos all behind me. This is not even a this is so little amount of my Legos. I have like a city in the closet. I got the Titanic behind me.
Oh,
I
right.
just built a train. Like I have so much.
Is the question mark box from Mario also a Lego box? Is that
yeah?
Lego?
And if you open it up, it has 3 stages, 3 of the
shit.
boards from the game. So you like flip it open, and these 3 platforms come out, and it's like an ice world, the regular world, and I don't remember what the third one. It's been a long time since I've opened that one up.
Probably Lava World.
Yeah,
is
that
my
would
guess.
make
But
sense.
but also is that it's all Legos? It's all Legos.
Yeah. It's cool.
Wow.
That's the one that I think got me hooked in the end. Like I bought that one because the price is not like the way it works with Legos is you get into it and you're like, I spend more than $150 on these things. And then you hit the point like I did after Christmas where I went to the fucking Lego store and I bought the Titanic and it was $750.
Oh my God.
It's like a weird thing that like, is in my brain. I want to say before people think, I did have Lego points, so I got $100 off, and then so $650, which is still way too much money.
Yes.
But I am tempted every day with it. Like I talk about this on the episode, but like when I start to run out of Legos on the set I'm building, I start to be like, I gotta get more Legos. Like I'm gonna have to go to the store and find some more Legos, to the point now where I'm caught up. There's no new Legos to buy because I only do 18 and up sets.
If you have enough Lego points, you can buy the sexy Titanic skin.
That's a little maid costume.
Yeah. And trust me, that boat wouldn't sink. You catch my drift. I'm saying that the boat's got tits.
There is a subreddit called Naked Legos that I look at.
Oh,
a
yes.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We talked about that on this
We
pod,
did talk about that. Yeah.
I had
I
trouble
love that.
wrapping my mind around it at first because I was like, wait, I thought it was the Lego men that were just nude, but no, it's like it's got to be mostly dudes, right? I haven't looked at it, but it's like
It's actually mostly women.
Oh, it's mostly women, and they're naked next to Lego sets or while
Some
building
guys
Lego.
trying to show off their hogs, but
Got
it
it.
was there. But there's a lot of women on there. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have a naked old Lego man.
Is that a little boner? Oh my
he's got a
God.
boner.
He's got a little boner on him. Yeah,
He's got a hog on him. That guy.
He does really well. He does well for himself.
Yeah, for his proportions.
It's fucking huge.
hanger.
Yeah, it'd be like 2 feet
Yeah.
maybe. Wow.
Yeah, the naked old man Lego is my best purchase of all of the purchases.
Was that someone who made a custom Lego? It has to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it on Etsy. If you're ever looking for a naked Lego man for your set, you can just get it on Etsy. They have plenty of them.
IHOP. So I went to get the Sonic menu twice. I went first on my own. I went because I wanted to try it out, and I didn't know if we were going to review it yet. So I did a solo outing and got the Sonic Blue Blur pancakes Sonic style, which is it's the double the blueberries and double the speed, and which is a double blueberry pancakes with a blueberry topping, and then. Yeah, you can add gold onion rings to any item to make it Sonic style. So I did that, and I actually had a nice time yesterday. Mitch, we did a little outing with you, me, Susser, and our buddy Anise, and we just ordered the whole menu to share. The only thing we didn't get is the Tails 2x2x2. And the reason we didn't get that is because the Tails 2x2x2 is just it's just 2x2x2. Yeah, I think I said too many twos. It's just 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, and 2 bacon strips or sausage links. So it's like there's nothing unique about this item.
There's nothing unique, and we just had ordered so much food.
There's like we don't need to try IHOP, fucking pancakes, regular pancakes, eggs, and bacon to tell you how it is.
So I do feel like it is a part that's missing. I feel bad. I feel like I got to apologize to Tails in a way. I feel bad.
Tails will be all right.
I mean, he'll be all right.
Yeah,
He's a nice guy.
He's so nice.
Shout out to Anise for joining us. He was excited to go. And I guess shout out to Susser too, who I think made it clear he was coming no matter what.
Yeah, not
entire time
explicitly
we were
invited, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
asked what time we were going and showed up.
Yeah. And then also today we just did College Town yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, there's a payment coming through. Where should I send the payment?" And
Our friend Seth Morris and Aaron Whitehead,
Yeah.
our friends, they're very funny podcast, which is on CBB World. We guested on it,
Yeah.
and they go on, finish.
Amelia was like, they want to pay you for your time, and then there's like, "Where should I send the payment?" And Susser put up his Venmo.
Yeah.
So he joined with us yesterday for IHOP, then wants to get paid. He wants the payment from us for the show we did, which we probably won't even take.
That he also did not participate in.
Yeah.
No involvement in.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's a piece of shit is what I'm trying to say.
He's a piece of shit, but
Yeah.
we love him. I also want to point out that Amy's Sweet Strawberry Delight, and they have the special, costume that you can unlock, the skin you can unlock in game from the pan coins. That has been taken out of the online menu. You can still get it in store, and it's still on the little insert, the menu insert, and the thing. But like online, for whatever reason, it's not there.
It's with the Amy version.
That was the Amy one, the Amy, which is vanilla ice cream, chocolate syrup, and fresh strawberries atop a golden brown waffle quarter.
So let me tell you,
yeah.
Pretty good one.
That one was hitting. I
like
like that one, and then the Shadows Chaos chocolate pancakes, which is a 4-stack of chocolate chip pancakes, chocolate chip pancakes with chocolate sauce. It was super sweet, but I was like, these two are just pure dessert, and I thought they were both hitting.
My favorite probably would have been the Tails 2x2x2 because I just would have to bacon, eggs, and hash browns and pancakes.
Yeah,
it's great,
just simple.
Yeah. But I think I agree with that. I think I was the Shadow chocolate pancakes and Amy's dessert. It was kind of a dessert.
They were both basically desserts. I mean, if you want to say chocolate chip pancakes is a breakfast, like fine. I guess it's not any worse than a donut, but it's a lot of sugar for breakfast.
We didn't put any syrup on the Amy's thing, but we put some syrup on the Shadow pancakes, and it didn't really work for me.
It was already so sweet.
It's already so sweet. Yeah.
And the Sonic's Blueberry special, they advise, they're like, try it with blueberry syrup, at least on the menu, which I did when I went solo, and like that was working. But then I think it was maybe a different blueberry syrup because it didn't come in the jug. Like it came in like individual little cups. And so I think it was maybe a different formulation because it didn't taste as good. It tasted a little sciencey.
I didn't love the Sonic Blueberry. I mean, they were okay. They were very in the middle for me.
I liked them more the first time I got them.
They were maybe the bottom of what I got yesterday, honestly. But
my wife and daughter came with me in solidarity. I mean, my wife loves the show, but they also were like, "We'll go with you. You don't have to go eat at IHOP by yourself."
That's awesome. Shout out to your wife.
Yeah.
Well, she got the craziest thing that I got. We come to order the food. I ordered the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
The blue blur pancakes, and then I got the chocolate pancakes and the other dessert. I didn't get any of the egg stuff because I don't eat eggs.
Yeah.
But and my wife doesn't eat meat, so she couldn't get the eggs Benedict. And my daughter will never eat anything that she's set in her ways, I guess.
Right.
And I thought that the blue blur pancakes were maybe my least favorite.
We're
Although
relying on that. Yeah.
Although the sandwich was like, it felt like just a handful of food. I guess maybe I got a bad sandwich, but it was just falling apart. Like immediately the second I picked it up, the chicken breast and the bacon fell off the fucking thing right away.
It's unwieldy for sure.
I think it's a flawed design. So the sandwich is the Knuckles chicken sandwich, a crispy chicken sandwich with bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado, cheese, and buttermilk ranch.
Maybe he has a better grip on that because of his hands.
He does. He does have those famously strong mitts. I got rid of the bacon because I don't eat pork anymore. But even still, I was slip sliding all over the place. I don't feel like I got one like good bite all the way through. By the end of it, I was just taking the chicken out because that was the best part and just like eating that on its own. But it's like a sub roll, and they don't cut it in half. At least they didn't in ours. It's just like one big long sub roll, and it's really hard to handle.
It feels like a handful of it just feels like you have to make a ball out of it,
right?
And eat it like that. And it's a whole chicken breast on a small. The bun is maybe too small for a whole chicken breast, in my opinion, too. Like it was just, but I mean, the sad part about that is that sandwich is probably the most perfect thing for me. I love ranch.
Yeah, sure.
I love chicken and bacon and avocados, like perfect. I did mean to say my wife did order avocado toast. And
IHOP avocado toast. I love it.
it was very strange looking. She was like, "This is very strange looking avocado."
Imagine you're Robert Kraft and you go to a rub and tug place.
Yeah, sure.
And fucking Knuckles walks out.
Oh boy,
He's gonna jack you off.
well, it's probably like kind of like poetic justice for frequenting these kind of establishments.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
Then now you got Knuckles.
Yeah.
Good luck to you,
Yeah.
buddy. I mean, Knuckles might do a good job too. I don't know, but
He might do a good
Quick.
job.
Yeah, he might do a good job.
I'd rather
there's no way of
Sonic
knowing.
just get it. I'd rather Sonic just get it out of the way. you know?
Sonic will be very fast, which you do wonder will that like the speed of it also might hurt.
Yeah, probably a lot of friction.
I guess I guess we should just look. I think we should just cut through this here.
Yeah.
Which Sonic character the best to jack you off? I mean,
if I'm being honest, Rouge the Bat.
yeah.
Rouge the Bat.
Why Rouge the Bat has wings?
Well, that's not her only appendages. She's got hands.
She does have hands.
Hold on, I'll show you Rouge the Bat, and you'll understand why I picked her.
Okay, let me see Rouge the Bat here.
Hold on.
Don't. If you show me, I'll start jerking off immediately.
He's going into his photos album
Yeah,
on his
let me-
iPad.
Let me look at my lock screen real quick. There you go.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I think Rouge the Bat's the winner of this
All
competition.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Is she very fast too?
Not particularly fast. It's not
Okay,
really her
alright.
skill set. I mean, they're all kind of fast, but Sonic's the fast one. Yeah.
Good
The
point.
worst possible thing you could have done to me, because every one of my listeners pretends I'm a swinger. They
Oh, yeah. Oh,
accuse
yeah.
me of being a swinger because I'm constantly on the swinger subreddit.
It's in the lifestyle. That's what that people say, right?
Yeah, in the lifestyle. And if you see an upside down pineapple, that's a swinger. That's letting you know.
Imagine she used
They're a
tails to
swinger.
jack you off, and then you look and you're floating. He's tugged you into the air. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be an experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
I think
You could not want to be. You're done with this.
No,
bit.
I like the bit. I think it's a good bit. I think it's fun.
tails jacking you off. He floats you into the air. That's funny.
Now you're the fucking whale. Like, whoa.
There we go. Now we're talking.
See you later, everybody. I love my daughter. So we did get the Dr. Eggman's Benedict. I did not taste this because this had ham. You and Susser split this one.
Yes, Susser
Anise didn't have any either.
Anise did not have any. Did not have any of the Dr. Eggman's Egg Benedict.
Yeah, which is Black Forest ham, poached eggs, and creamy hollandaise sauce.
Here's the deal.
Very simple.
Poached eggs. They were overcooked, sadly. But I thought it was still tasty, despite when you cut into it, the yolk was hard.
Yeah.
I thought it was still pretty good, despite that. I think that kind of ruins a eggs Benedict. You want the yolk to come out.
Yeah, I mean, look, like this is a high volume location.
It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do.
I don't know if they have enough people in there. No, I'm not, Mitch. I know you're saying the same thing. What I'm saying is, they have a lot of customers. I know that they had a bunch of hiring signs. They're probably understaffed.
Mhm.
If you're a breakfast focused place, I feel like you should be able to execute an eggs Benedict. Like
Sure.
I think it's reasonable to expect that to turn out okay.
I liked it. Susser thought the ham had turned.
Yeah.
Speaking of things turning, he thought the ham had turned and gone bad.
What's going on out there?
I thought the ham was fine. I thought it tasted pretty good despite the egg being a little overcooked. But it was very much just eggs Benedict. There was nothing fun to it. And I actually liked my Knuckles chicken sandwich, but I agree with you that one, it's unwieldy.
Yeah.
Two, eating it, I liked it because it was like a fried chicken tender and all this other stuff, but extremely plain. I was like,
really, yeah,
it's really plain.
really
So
missing
much
flavor.
tomato and
Right.
lettuce in that, and so many of those bites, but it was missing flavor.
And you were
But I
talking earlier
still
about a
liked it, all
seasoned
right.
burger, and like
Yeah.
it felt like the chicken breast was not seasoned at all, despite being
No.
breaded.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was. I don't think it was breaded at the place I went. I think it was
Oh,
a grilled
really?
chicken breast.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I'm
Ours,
like
ours were
100%.
for sure bread.
Yeah, ours was crispy.
Because I thought it was weird that I just didn't think IHOP would default to grilled chicken.
Right.
I guess I
Yeah.
mean I thought they did, but it was definitely grilled chicken. The one that I had, because it was falling out. I saw it like I saw it very quickly when it got there, and I was actually really surprised because I would have thought it would have been a crispy chicken. And
It seems like they
Yeah.
really don't give a shit about this promotion. It is just
No, they really don't.
it's strange though, because on my way out, there were like 10, 20-year-olds with Sonic shirts on walking in there.
Oh,
And like
wow.
I was really like, this didn't just come out, did it? Like it's been around. If you're really a Sonic fan, you're only showing up on April 8th. That's 7 days
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the debut. If you're a real fan, you got to be there on day one at midnight.
Right, for
This
sure.
crew of 20-year-olds in Sonic shirts sound like they might be Doughboys listeners. So shout out to them. But that's wild especially for someone who's that are so Sonic crazy and to wear the Sonic shirts, which Anise was wearing a Sonic shirt,
Yeah, he had
wasn't
a
he?
cool Sonic shirt.
He had
Yeah.
a cool Sonic shirt on.
I think it was an Amy Rose shirt. I'm trying to remember. I think it was an Amy Rose shirt.
Which one is Amy Rose? Is that
We were just talking
that's
about Amy Rose.
Well, that's not the
The
bat.
sweet strawberry
The
delight.
sweet strawberry,
Yeah, yeah.
which
It's got the
was-
big hammer.
was one of the highlights, and I thought that the chocolate pancakes were one of the highlights as well.
I will say that to what Brian was talking about, the 20-year-olds in Sonic shirts. When I went on my own, like day 3 of this promotion.
You were dressed up like Sonic?
No, it's my day-to-day wear. No, I just walked in like dressed as a civilian, and I go in there. The IHOP is empty. It's the one near my place, and there's like one server working there, and she basically immediately is like, Sonic Menu, like clocked me as like a guy who's there for the Sonic Menu. So
I do want to say
got good
that-
eyes.
yeah.
I think my favorite, I don't know if he actually is a Sonic character, but I've always liked Chronic the Hemp Hog.
Chronic the Hemp Hog, yeah, he's not canonical, but I do respect him.
They need to put him in.
Yeah.
They need to put him in a game. Why not put him in a game, man? He's been around since I was in 6th grade.
What I thought was like the funniest T-shirt when I was like 12 or 13, just like the funniest idea possible. Chronic the Hemp Hog.
It's so funny. I think I have the biggest weak spot for that. I bought a T-shirt that was Deadpool smoking weed. Like I Googled Deadpool smoking weed, and there was a shirt, so I bought it, and it's Deadpool sitting on a Nike sign, and under it says "Just smoke it." And
That's good as hell.
That's good.
I wore it too much, and now it's gone, and I miss it very much. I might even just order a new one, actually.
Chronic. I wonder what Chronic the Hemp Hog I wonder what his meal would be. Probably something.
I think it's
Some
probably this. Is a lot of this he'd have the munchies.
He'd have
The
the chocolate. Some
chocolate.
sort of stoner food. Yeah,
Yeah.
He'd have some crazy concoction.
Yeah.
Wags, for you, she could tell you're either there for the Sonic Menu or you were trying to come in and get a kid's free meal dressing like a child. I think it was one of the two with a spinny cap on.
I did the waitress that was waiting on us was I think got weirded out as the dinner went on, because I ordered the chicken sandwich and the blueberry pancakes for myself, and then my wife and daughter ordered just one thing for them, and she came back with the check and she was like, "You guys ready to get out of here?" And I was like, no, we'll take the chocolate pancakes, the Sonic chocolate pancakes, and the dessert, the ice cream on I can't remember the name of it, but like I haven't eaten candy since 2023. I'm off candy. I've decided not to eat candy in 2024 because I was like eating a lot of candy.
Right. Good for you.
Like a lot of 6 king size caramellos a day.
Wow.
yeah,
Like,
that's the thing you need to address. So good
Holy
for you.
shit.
yeah, it had gotten so crazy that I just didn't I was just like, I can't eat candy in 2024. I need to balance this out. But those fucking chocolate pancakes were so good to me because I haven't had chocolate in
Right.
so long. I
Yeah.
loved them, and so did my wife. I think one thing they could have done to them that I don't think they did, put like chocolate syrup on them
Yeah,
fucking things.
yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't put they're really good dry. I'm not gonna put maple syrup on a
No,
chocolate
the maple
pancake.
didn't work. It didn't work with it. Yeah, they need to have they need to have a more of a syrup on there.
There was some sort of sauce on ours, unless I'm misremembering it. I'm trying to look at
It
the
was
photo
the chocolate
now.
sauce, but it was like very lightly drizzled.
Yeah, it was
on
just
there.
just kind of like,
Yeah.
not even Peter North onto it. It's just
No.
sort of like
We would have welcomed a Peter North.
yeah,
in that
it's kind of
scenario.
Doughboysed over it. Just like, it's like a
Dear
little
God.
light glaze.
Why not ice cream on that one too?
That one would be
Like-
because it's got the whipped topping, but ice cream might as well go all the way. I think that would actually plus it up a bit.
Imagining ice cream between each layer.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, what if they just fucking gave you 3 pancakes and put a scoop of ice cream in between each one and then put chocolate syrup on it? But then I'm asking for a totally different thing that they don't do. But I think that would have definitely improved that, because I personally can't imagine somebody going in there for dinner or breakfast and saying, give me a pile of chocolate pancakes with chocolate chips in it and, whatever else they put. If they did put sauce on it and I forgot, I just remember them being kind of dry.
They were
They
absolutely
were
kind of
100%.
dry, and they could have used more sauce.
You know what? And also, we could have used some butter on there. For me, it reminded me of a bit of when I love a blueberry muffin, but when I was a kid, I liked a chocolate chip muffin from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And I'd microwave that up with some butter on it.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
I love a muffin with butter.
And it kind of gave that feel. These pancakes kind of gave the vibe of a chocolate chip muffin a little bit. They were tasty, but it needed still good. Still, I think one of my favorite things that we had.
I thought those were great. I thought that the Shadows Chaos chocolate pancakes were really hitting. Speaking of sweet, go and finish.
Well, I was just gonna say I made fun of you for dressing like a child, and that's why they assume that you would want that. But look, any 3 of us walking in there, they know we're coming for the Sonic.
Yeah, they know what
menu.
our agenda is.
There's a certain type that's coming in there for the Sonic menu, and we're going in there for the Sonic menu. And I just think every other promotion that they've done has just been so much more fun.
And it's been more specific.
Yes.
But that's all that said. I did overall enjoy the meal.
Me too. Walking away from it, I mean, that Glendale IHOP.
That one's hitting. That's a great IHOP.
It's a great IHOP.
Shout out to, I believe, Beatrice was the name on the receipt, who was our server. She was great.
Yeah, she was great. And I think I had her last time when I went for the Minions menu when Bugmain showed up. Bugmain always comes to IHOP, as we know.
Yeah.
Skittle
Scattle.
The Minions menu I liked more, the one that we did with Distant.
Yeah.
Twist Metal.
I agree with you.
Is that mostly banana stuff?
Yeah. It was a lot of banana stuff, but it was stuff that wasn't normally on the menu, and it was a lot of fun. And speaking of things that aren't normally on the menu, we had a really bad experience, or no one liked it, but we ordered Pepsi Maple.
Yes,
No,
this is
I looked at that and did not even get tempted on it. And I'm a Pepsi guy.
Yeah.
I'm a Pepsi over Coke guy, which
Wow.
gets me yelled at by a lot of people.
That's
I don't
insane.
like Coke.
You're a Pepsi.
I love a Pepsi.
That is a guy,
Yeah,
too,
that is
by
a
the
guy,
way.
the
That's a
Pepsi
Pepsi guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm young. It's the choice of a new generation. It's like, some people aren't as hip as I am to this kind of thing.
This is I'm looking back at the Minions menu real quick. So yeah, there were the Baba banana pudding pancakes and the Baba banana milkshake. So there were some banana stuff, but I think the ones we really like were the Cinnaminions. I could be completely
they were
misremembering
fucking
it.
great.
Those are good, which are just cinnamon donut holes.
Mhm.
And then Gru's Evil Steak Burger, I think, was way better than we
It
expected.
was
to be.
really,
It's like a
really
spicy
good.
burger.
Were
yeah.
the banana pancakes bad? Were those the ones that were bad?
I
Or
don't know
was it
if
the milkshake?
anything we disliked, but
Yeah, I think we liked it
I'm
all.
sure if we looked at the wiki, we could see what our actual thoughts were. I think they just could have gone farther with the Sonic menu, but yes, the Pepsi maple syrup cola, which they had, I guess, a canned version of in 2022, and they're bringing back as an IHOP promotion in 2024. I thought
Gnarly.
I will say that we had we got one. We got one of the maple syrup cola and one of the maple syrup cola float, which has a scoop of ice cream for the table.
Mhm.
We passed around the Pepsi maple syrup cola. We each took a sip through our own straw. We were trying to stay poker faced to not reveal our thoughts to each other. And then Anise took a sip, and I will try to capture his volume here. But he was like, "Whoa, that's too much maple!" It's the loudest I've ever heard a human being. Just exclaim.
We were eating in there with like other like it was like other with like 90-year-old. It was like three tables of 90-year-old people.
Families.
Yeah, like a table of tourists.
Yeah. It was very. The whole restaurant knew that Anise didn't like it. And you know what?
He was
Anise,
right.
He was right.
It was way too much maple.
Way too much maple.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have this on your menu, but I was like kind of. They have these splashers there.
Yeah, the splashers are good.
We were talking about the splashers. Yeah.
Well, they have a blue one. Why isn't that on the fucking Sonic?
That should be on the Sonic
fucking
fucking
Great
menu.
call,
weird to
Brian.
me.
Absolutely.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, they really don't care about this menu. They even have blue stuff that they're not putting on it.
Sonic Punch. Come on, there you go.
There you go. That's fine.
It makes it
Sonic
kinda makes sense.
Lemonade.
There's a lot that they could have done, and they could have made an original, menu item for some of these things. But whatever.
The float was better. That was your point. Float was better balanced.
We got the float as well, and the float I almost liked because when it was mixed with vanilla, it was pretty good. Anise did not have as strong of a reaction to it.
Yeah, no.
But the float I would say I don't know if I would call it a drank. Maybe a very.
I didn't like either of them, but that was better.
Probably maybe still a stank, but very close to
What I
a
liked
soft
about
drank.
What I liked about it, sorry to cut you off, is that it had vanilla ice cream when I thought about it, and so I could taste the maple less.
And by the way, remember there was a pancake of the week that looked fucking good as hell. I want to go back to that Glendale IHOP.
No, I would absolutely go back to that IHOP. I had a good meal overall, even if I was disappointed by this menu. Summer is jam-packed and the heat is no joke, Mitch, so we got to prioritize hydration. We're made of 60 to 70% water, so when we're dehydrated, we feel imbalanced. You know the signs: fogginess, fatigue, and more.
With all the drinks out there, you want hydration that works. Liquid IV delivers extraordinary hydration with advanced science thanks to LIV Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, vitamins, and nutrients.
One stick of Liquid IV delivers superior hydration to water alone with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink plus 8 vitamins and nutrients. It's hydration for endurance, mental clarity, and overall well-being.
Wags, you know how much I like Liquid IV? So much, I had it yesterday.
Wow.
This is the truth. Strawberry Liquid IV. Glug, glug, you gotta chug, but only if Liquid IV's in the mug. That's what I say.
It's easy and convenient to mix a stick into a glass of water. All sorts of different flavors people like. The sugar-free white peach, sugar-free green grape, strawberry lemonade, lemon lime, and more.
Yeah, Wags, I told you, I'm a strawberry boy. I love strawberry.
And the hydration multiplier is perfect for before, during, and after workouts. Liquid IV helps replenish electrolytes and supports faster hydration than water alone.
And Wags, if you're an improviser athlete,
A lot of our audience.
then Liquid IV helps rehydrate you after a long night. You're slogging along. You really went all out.
Feeling groggy in the morning?
Yeah.
Liquid IV will give you that boost.
Damn, group game was out of control. I need a Liquid IV.
Those third beats all connected.
Shit.
The #1 powered hydration brand in America is what we're talking about. It's got 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Has 8 vitamins and nutrients, non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. No artificial colors or sweeteners. 4 delicious sugar-free flavors: white peach, green grape, raspberry melon, and lemon lime. And a 0 sugar hydration solution with no artificial sweeteners. Clinically tested to hydrate more than water alone.
Wags, with all that ad read talking you're doing right now, you could use a Liquid IV.
I could use some of that LIV Hydroscience. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Doughboys at checkout.
That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code Doughboys at liquidiv.com. Do it.
Do I want Liquid IV? Yes, and... We should get to our final thoughts. Brian, so you know the pod, but just to refresh how this works, we'll each go around, we'll give a closing argument on the IHOP Sonic Menu and end by giving it a fork score from 0 to 5 forks. Brian, you're our guest. We'll begin with you.
So I think I will say that I think my wife liked it a lot more than I did, because I did feel like the middle of the blueberry pancakes was like way too much. It felt like almost soggy with blueberry. It was just too much. And then the chicken sandwich didn't do well. Now I'm bad at review numbers, so I'm gonna say 2 forks, because I didn't hate anything. I just didn't like anything. Nothing really blew me away.
Yeah.
But I didn't, like, everything I ate, I was like, when the sandwich, it's like, this would be good if it didn't fall apart, or the
This is-
pancake, any of the pancakes, this would be good if they didn't do this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Brian,
for sure.
this is the water guy numbers, by the way. You're going water guy numbers here.
Yeah, did they bring you like you asked for a room temp water and they brought you a cup with ice? Is that what's really going on?
they're playing loud rock and roll music in there. And it bummed me out. But again, I'm also terrible at rating scales. I have a new metal podcast where like I screwed the scale up within 3 episodes by giving something an infinity. So I just don't know how to regulate it.
I guessed it on your new metal podcast in a deep pandemic. And it was super fun to do, but it's like it did get me like back at like I wouldn't say back into new metal because I was always like a new metal skeptic. It like got me kind of like inducted into new metal. I found myself like listening to what's the big album that you use as kind of like an introduction to new metal?
Deftones, White Pony.
Deftones, White Pony. I was listening to Deftones, White Pony like on a loop going on long walks. It was like that album rips.
A lot of this shit sounds like when like YouTube hires people to get rid of conspiracy theory videos and then they get into conspiracy theories. Sounds like a lot of this shit is going on with you guys. I just want to warn you.
You're
I own
Pony?
a Chris Farley
Good.
coin. I'm not even a Chris Farley fan. I just own a coin. I mean, he's not bad. I'm not
How can you not
against
be a
Chris Farley.
How do you dislike Chris Farley?
I don't dislike him. I just wouldn't buy a Chris Farley T-shirt or
Right.
anything.
Not that level of fandom.
I had the from Tommy Boy. What's the Callahan T-shirt?
Oh wow.
Oh,
Got
that's
fucked
good.
up in the
That's
dryer. Yeah. Got fucked up in the dryer. Is it my turn
Yeah,
to
your
review?
turn.
Wait, what were we talking about?
We were talking about new metal. Brian was talking about how he fucks up review scores.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think that. I think you actually did a good job here because if you're saying there's nothing you liked,
Mhm.
I don't see how you go above Two Forks.
I will say this. For like the branding of the Sonic branding and what it is and with the menu, I would say it's like I'd probably say handholding at Two Forks for that.
Yeah.
Though I do like the idea of like 80 and 90-year-olds and 100-year-olds eating Sonic menu items or even knowing what Sonic is. You think there's a 100-year-old person who knows what Sonic is?
I need my pan coins so I can unlock that sexy Amy outfit.
I like that. I like that a lot. But I didn't love the Sonic branding, but I enjoyed IHOP quite a bit. We had a great time.
Had a great time.
And also like the thing we talk about how like and Brian, kind of what you touched on of like every fast food chain just kind of falling apart. And like, do you remember there was a time when you could go to IHOPs and they'd be 24 hours or Denny's? And I know that there's still some that are 24 hours.
Some
but
still
like,
are, but not all of them.
not all of them. So many of them, you like that to me just is like, oh man, that was a great time when you could go to an IHOP or a Denny's and they'd be open 24 hours and you could get this sort of meal whenever you want. Still kind of exists.
Yeah.
But
I feel for you guys not having the Waffle House because they will never close
man.
them. You know
I
what
love
I
Waffle
mean?
House.
that would
so
be
much.
that would rule.
Yeah.
I wish
know.
I've said that I'm going to contradict myself because I was going to say I wish there was one out here, but that would be disagreeing with past me, which is like I'm glad they aren't out here because these regional chains that try to go national, they lose the magic, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the quality dips. So like, yeah, keep Waffle House where it is. I just wish I was near one.
Watching In and Out do that right now. We're
Yeah.
going to be watching that happen.
They're fucking up.
Overall for IHOP, I think I'd go 4 Forks.
Yeah, I mean,
I like and look, we're rating IHOP here, right?
yeah, I think however you want to rate it.
I'll say I didn't order anything off of the Sonic menu. So that might be why my score's a little lower because none of that stuff on there was like, if I went in there just to get pancakes, I'd probably just buy the regular pancakes and get some bacon and eat that. I probably would have given it a way higher score.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think
yeah.
it was the Sonic stuff that made me give it a lower score.
totally fair.
If you combine my two scores, it's a 3. You know what I mean? It's 3 Forker. But I don't know where to land specifically on this. What do you think?
Go with your heart.
For IHOP, it's 4 Forks.
Yeah.
But for Sonic, it's the Sonic theming. It's 2 Forks.
Why don't you just give 2 scores?
It's two different scores.
Like, it's fitting for Tails. Tails has 2
That's
tails.
right.
Mitch has 2 scores.
I got 2 scores.
I will go, and you know what? I will be honestly in the hand-holding club with you and Brian on my Sonic Menu score, because I think it is a 2-fork execution. I think that I like the Sonic Blueberry Special more than either of you. Maybe I just like blueberry pancakes more, or maybe I'm just more forgiving for this execution. But the chicken sandwich is whatever. Eggman's Benedict I didn't have, but also it's just regular fucking eggs Benedict. There's nothing special there. The 2 highlights were the 2 desserts. But overall, it just feels so half-assed.
Yeah.
And it just I just wanted more from this promotion because they've done good ones in the past. So it's 2 forks of the IHOP Sonic Menu. But yeah, IHOP overall, I mean, it has so much charm, so much character. I like that they bring you, even though I didn't get coffee at this particular meal, that they bring you the carafe of coffee that you sit on your table and you can do your own refills and it stays hot. Like, that goes a long way. That's like a full fork for me, just like that alone.
That's great.
I think in terms of what they do, International House of Pancakes, which is what the acronym stands for, they execute that well. I think they do good pancakes and they think they do good breakfast. And so for me, it's a Golden Plate Club chain. I think it's a 4-fork chain. So I'll go 2-4 as well, Mitch.
I love it.
All right, that was our review of the IHOP Sonic Menu. It's time for a segment. I've got some food-related jingles, and Mitch and Brian must determine which year they came out. It's another edition of Jingle All The Whey, spelled W-H-E-Y.
Wow.
The rules of Jingle All The Whey: the closest guess without going over wins a point. Rule number 2, if you guess the year exactly, you get 2 points. That's the Art and Marine rule. And rule number 3, if the game ends in a tie, the guest wins. That's the Mitch Kenna rule. These were, as always, compiled by our buddy, the Drop King, Robert Persinger, and DK specifically wanted to pass along to you, Brian, that he's a huge fan of the Guys podcast. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
If the Weiger endorsement doesn't do enough for you out there, DK is also a fan of Guys. So check out that show. All right. So we understand the rules. We're going to play a video, and y'all will just guess what year it came out. We'll take turns going who goes first.
I like the pod too. I had a blast on it. Just to
So
say.
fun. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. I wasn't trying to exclude you from
I
it.
felt excluded.
No, you're not, Mitch. Hey, Mitch, it's also endorsed by the Spoon Man.
It was definitely like being out in LA for that time and people telling me they were a fan was like awesome, because I'm out in Columbus.
Yeah,
Nobody
sure.
knows who I am. I like every now and then a guy rides by on his bike and screams, "Murder Brian!" And that's like, how I know how well I'm doing.
I get some people screaming "Murder Weiger," but it's not my name,
yeah.
so it's like,
It's also usually me.
yeah. All right, let's play the first one of these videos.
Now, Taco Bell brings you all your supreme favorites for free.
Sour cream. I want to top your taco. Can't you see?
And
Didn't
who
we just
could
watch this?
forget
My tomato.
elsewhere you'd pay hundreds of dollars for sour cream and tomatoes, but at Taco Bell they're free when you buy an original 59-cent taco.
Taco Man.
Taco Bell cashiers are standing by, so order today.
That's I don't remember watching this, but that is,
You know what? You're gonna hate this.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's funny that they did Taco
I know.
Man when we ended up doing Taco Bell
Bell, yeah.
as our own parody, thinking it was something original. It was a Taco Bell ad from like however long ago this was.
Well, I also thanked Homer because at the end of the show, because Homer sings "Nacho, Nacho Man."
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So it's a parody that's really been done.
The third version of it and the least good one. Whatever.
I thought it was pretty fun.
I thought it was fun. Mitch, you sang the hell out of that song.
We even blew the roof off that place. I have seen.
I'll
This.
be like Elvis talking about when he saw Little Richard in the Baz Luhrmann Elvis. He sang the hell out of that song.
We tried with the live show.
We tried.
We tried.
We tried.
Also, Taco Man. Shouldn't it be Taco? Shouldn't they have done Taco?
They should have done
Bell?
Taco Bell.
So wait, Murder Brian, we'll give you the option to answer first, right? Like,
Yeah, well, you'll take turns.
You'll take turns. So do you want to go first?
Do you want to
or
go first or
second?
second for this one?
I can go first.
Okay, go first. What year do you think Supreme Favorites came out? This is, and for people who are just listening to the audio, the jingle was accompanied by kind of like a scrolling list of songs, like it was an ad for an album.
So I think I feel like I remember every Taco Bell commercial from a certain period of time. and I've never seen this one, but it can't be from like after 2004 because it's like a reference that wouldn't make sense after that point. So I am going to go with 2004.
Wow.
2004 is the guess. Mitch, what year do you think this came out?
I'm thinking earlier than that. Also, I know it's going to make you mad. You know where I think I saw this?
Yeah.
The Reddit.
Wow, someone posted in the subreddit.
But I don't know the date.
Okay.
I think that this is 90s, and I just don't know when in the 90s it is. This is like, it could easily be 98, but it could be 96. I'm going to go 97, right in the middle.
Mitch, you unfortunately overshot it just a bit. You were very close. Supreme Favorites came out in 1995. I understand your instinct to go later because these always tend to trail off the pop culture a little bit.
Yeah.
But this one was a little earlier than that. Yeah. So no one gets a point.
Cool. I way overshot.
No one
it.
gets a point. I was so close.
Next up, let's play this next ad.
That's what happens when you're both over. No one gets a point.
Yeah, no one gets a point.
We're going to tie. We're going to tie at 0.
Oh, I forgot that I'm supposed to say like 1990.
That would have been the safer bet, but I
that's
like
what
you
you're
trying to get right in there. I like you trying to get it exact.
I forgot how to play the game.
Oh, you can't.
No,
You won't believe how
don't game
stupid
theory
I
it too
feel.
much. Just try to guess.
I'm gonna.
I feel incredibly stupid.
When you're hungry for a burrito supreme, really hungry for a taco, you know what I mean. Got a craving for a enchilada or two. Want a beefy tostada? Here's what you do. You say, hey, what you say? We all go down to Taco Bell today and hit for Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
So this is a regional ad. This was for a Texas area Taco Bell.
BionicDisco.com.
BionicDisco.com. Archive that. Shout out to them for keeping this footage alive. Definitely some tells there. Feels like it was pulled from a VHS.
Sure.
In terms of timestamping, it looked like the old
It's
school.
a cool tell.
The old school Taco Bell architecture, and then
there are hints.
They're featuring items like the enchilada, which was off of the menu for a while, and it was served in like a foil tin, which is not something they do these days.
Why are you giving us all these hints?
No,
Are you the quiz master?
I'm talking through it for people who are just listening to the audio in terms of where it might be, but I don't want to steer you. You're going to make your own decision. Mitch, you're going first for this one. What year did this one come out?
Do you ever want to play the game? Maybe I could be quiz master sometime.
We could do
You
that.
don't want to, Mitch. You do not want to do that. I do that sometimes. You lose track, and it's too much stress.
All right, yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't want to do it. Sorry, Wags. You don't get to play. I think these ones are always more tricky to me because I'm like, that very well could be early 80s, and then it could just weirdly be a 70s video, and I don't really know what it is. Part of me wants to just say but should I go earlier? I'm gonna say 1980 on the dot.
Mitch goes 1980. Brian, what year do you think?
Because I just don't know.
I
don't know if it's 70s or 80s.
So there's no way this is in the 2000s. I do know that. I got that. I'm gonna go with because I'm gonna say 1975 and hope that it's
smart
just
move.
That
That's how you game it. That's the game theory, Wags.
Brian's going to get a point here because this came out. Head for Taco Bell is the name of the spot. Came out in 1978.
So technically, I was closer.
Technically, you were closer, but you went over. Brian has 1. Mitch has 0.
This
Next
sucks.
Up.
We have to change this rule.
Well, hey, look, if a guest wants to come up with a new rule, we can do it. But the only way new rules are added is via guest. The Ard Marine rule.
Brian, you should change the game. I mean, after your point that you just got, you should change the rule that whoever is closer gets a point. It's the only way it makes sense.
Only one guy can make new rules, and that's Bill Maher, and he's not here. I don't know what to say.
That's fair.
That's absolutely fair. All right, let's play this next one.
You know what that means? We got to get Bill Maher on the pod.
We'll get on Club Random, and then he'll do our show. We'll do a home and home. All right, next up.
Let me talk about Israel and Palestine, okay? Fucking dumbass.
You and Dennis Miller?
He's
Was it Dennis Miller?
More Dennis Miller. That's all right.
When his special,
Hello, I'm Young MC with a story to tell. I just got a free cup from Taco Bell. NMTV makes the whole thing fun. Buy a giant-sized Pepsi and you'll get one. 4 cups in all, so don't stand still. And if you have an empty cup, you get a free refill. Go to Taco Bell and you see it's true. They got these 4 cups there just for you. Taco Bell only has them for a limited time. That's why I'm coming to you with a limited rhyme. To get these cups, you gotta place your order. So take my advice, you better run for the border.
So I guess
Fucking great rap. Is that actually Young MC?
I was gonna say it's just if you can think of the year Bust a Move came out, you might win this one. And just say the year after it.
The thing that so the cups they have in there, they're advertising these collectible cups. They're plastic, unfortunately. It would be cool if they were glass, but they're MTV cups, which is amazing that Taco Bell had an MTV tie-in at a certain point.
Could you try to find these on eBay right now?
I'll try to find them. But while I'm doing that, what year do you think the Young MC spot came out? Brian, you'll go first.
I'm going with. This one's tough, but I think I'm just going to say 1989.
1989.
Ugh, that's a great guess. You really fucked me there.
Because I think I think I know. Well, I don't know, but I think 1989 is a safe bet.
And you know what's fucked up is what I'm going to do to you, which is this is the game theory. This is where game theory bites you in the ass. But I think actually we might. The crazy thing is, are we both over? Is Bust a Move 88 or something? I think it's 89 or 90, right? I'm going to say 1990, Brian, which fucks you over.
Yeah.
Because now you have to be on the dot to get it right. So 1990 is my guess.
Yeah. One of you is on the dot.
Yes.
It is Mitch who's going to get 2 points.
Wow.
1990, this spot comes out. These
in my head, immediately, I thought 1992. I was always going to say 1990 to be fair. And in my head, I was going to say I was like, I think it's 1992, but I'm going to say 1990 because then that would encapsulate 1992, but I wasn't going first anyway. So.
This is a set of 2 vintage 1990 MTV VMA Taco Bell Video Music Awards promo plastic cups for $14.99. So they're not super expensive. But this other one has a lot of
on eBay. You're
on
saying.
eBay, yes. This one has a lot of 75 different plastic cups from Taco
Holy
Bell,
shit.
including Lakers, Batman, Simpsons, McDonald's. And this one, I guess they had a McDonald's tie-in, and this one is $75.
That's a pretty good haul. Should we get that for the studio?
I mean,
Casey and Emma and Amelia will love the fact that we have 75 cups to put around the studio. That's pretty fucking good.
We can change the rules, by
good.
the way. We can change the rules now. If you get it exactly right, it's 1 point.
All right, next up, Taco Salad Bowl is the name of this next spot. Let's play it real quick.
Sounds woke.
New rule. No more taco salad bowls.
This is the new taco salad from Taco Bell. The salad in a bowl. You can eat.
The freshest things from Taco Bell, served up in a flake flour shell.
That's my bowl.
Taco salad, ooh, what a treat.
I'm gonna eat the bowl, but I'm gonna break it first.
Just made for you in a bowl you can't eat.
Oops. All
That was
right.
fucking
You
great.
should just have to try one for yourself. You know where.
Taco Bell, it's just made for you.
Do you think that lady was like in the equivalent of like a UCB, like Harold's team back in the day?
She's doing long form improv at like the Second City.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that she was like a groundling or something.
That's not true. I'm just saying.
Not saying anything negative about somebody. That's just like how this industry works. I like it. There was a great mustache guy in there who you pointed out. I will just say that salad looks fucking good. The way that's photographed, I feel like that was hitting in whatever year this came out.
It looks good. This is another tough one. I'm going first.
You're going first, yeah.
I think that this is 100%, especially with that, you're judging by that mustache. I think this is an 80s. This feels like an 80s commercial. Fuck, but it could be 70s. You never know. I'm going to go 1982, the year I was born.
Wow.
As when this commercial came out. But I am not confident at all. I think it's 80s.
Do you know is there like a big movie of 1982 that you can pull right away, you can think of?
I should know it.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm curious.
I know Tootsie was out in the 80s.
That sounds like maybe the Tootsie year.
Tootsie? I mean, I think maybe 1982 is Tootsie.
Yeah. Hold on.
There is a
if
good
I
one
got that
out.
right, can I have a point?
You know what? Yes. If you got that right, you get a point.
So is this a new rule that if you
guess a movie year, you get a point.
New rule.
We'll figure out how to implement. You are correct. Tootsie, the number 2 at the box office.
Wow. All right, you get a point. You get a point.
Number 1, one of Spielberg's most iconic films.
Was it Close Encounters?
Not Close Encounters, but you're in the right ballpark.
E.T.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
It's an E.T.
E.T. The top 5 of the box office. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Tootsie, An Officer and a Gentleman. R.I.P. Lou Gossett Jr., who passed away pretty recently. Rocky 3, and then Porky's.
I got in trouble. I got in trouble for recording all the Porkies when I was a kid so I could masturbate.
That's fucking rules.
It's so crazy that like a fucking softcore porno like comedy was like that was number 5, and the next one is Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, and the next one after that is 48 Hours. The next one after that is Poltergeist. How is Porky's such a huge franchise?
1982 fucking rules, baby.
It's amazing.
No wonder why it came out in 1982.
I watched Porky's 100 times. I wonder what it's like to watch it now. I might have to do that. I've watched a lot of
My
bad
guess
movies.
is that it's slightly problematic, I'm sure.
Maybe a little bit. There's scenes I can remember that are probably not so great. What's funny is like for a show, for a series I did, I watched all of the reboot. I watched 5 reboots. So it was like famous movies, like it was Point Break, but I watched the one from like 2012. And like those were and I also watched the movies. So I watched like disaster movies.
Oh wow.
And all those movies, and every one of them were so problematic. It was crazy. And I was like, this stuff was made in 2013.
Yeah.
Like, some of that stuff.
Fucking insane.
You know what's crazy about this video is that, see that little kid in this video?
Yeah.
He's looking at his age now.
Mitch, that's a trip. It's like a little kid looking at like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah. I'm saying 46, specifically the number.
Oh wow! I thought you meant he's looking at the man and being like, "I'm going to grow into that."
But also that too.
He's looking. The guy is wearing a football jersey and he's reading 46 off of it and thinking, "I'm going to be that age."
Yes.
When this is watched on Doughboys.
When this is watched on Doughboys, and that guy, crazy. That guy there is probably sadly like 23. that guy with the mustache is probably so young it would make us mad, and he's probably like dead now.
Yeah.
He's probably or like 65 or 70.
Mitch's new YouTube channel where he like circles stuff in old commercials like they do the Illuminati. This young kid was seeing his fate.
I mean, this kid's probably older than 40. He might be 50. I mean, depending on when it came out.
Yeah.
I think 1982. Murder Brian, you already have a point. So this is just icing on the cake for you if you get another
Wait,
point. Wait,
did he get a point from naming Tootsie?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, wow. So you already got a point from this round.
It's the Murder Brian rule.
All right, Mitch.
If there's a movie that you don't know, you have to be honest about it.
Yeah, I did not Google it.
Yeah. You didn't Google it, and you're not sure if it came out there. That's the only way you can get a point.
Okay, if you can name a movie that came out the same year as your guess, but you're not sure on the honor system.
Yeah, I guess it's your opponent's guess.
Oh, Mitch, that's a great addendum. As your opponent's guess, but you're not sure.
But you're not sure, and you didn't Google.
Yeah.
Then you get a point.
Well, I think and you didn't Google is implied. I think we'll just say that. I'll just put, but you're not sure, you get a point. Yeah.
I'm going with the same Mitch thing. I was born in 1979. I'm going to say 1979.
Good guess. You might steal it here.
Billy Corgan's favorite year, but this actually came out in 1984, so Mitch gets a point. So you each get a point here. The gap stays the same. Yeah, doesn't that feel like earlier than that? But yeah, 1984.
It is a bit
that
Orwellian.
That guy's mustache. That's Orwellian.
This commercial's a bit Orwellian.
It is a bit Orwellian.
It is.
Practically talking doublespeak. Next up.
So 1984. So that guy, so how old do you think that kid is? Let's do the math there. That kid
it's exactly 40 years.
Is 10 years old?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's maybe between 6 and 8, which means he's actually probably a 10 to 12-year-old kid.
So let's just say 10.
Exactly 40 years.
So he's 50 years.
50, yeah.
The kid's 50 years old. And
Time is crazy.
How old do you think that guy? That guy with the mustache and the lady in the video, probably 70? They could be 70?
Got to be.
65, 70?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right, we got...
Time, man. We're saying it. Time is crazy. Crazy, dude.
Pink Floyd said it best. Let's play this
They
last
did.
one. This spot is called Just a Little Cash.
This isn't the last one. I see there's 2 more.
No, this is it, right?
Oh, shit. Sorry. I flew off the handle.
Nobody has more choices for just a little cash. You can search the whole world over, and no matter who you ask, they'd say Taco Bell has more choices.
Oh,
for
Johnny
just
Cash.
a little cash. You better make a run for the border, son. You better make a border dash. We're talking under $1. Nobody beats Taco Bell. Where else you gonna get
I
so
can't tell
many
you.
choices with just a little cash?
That's fucking crazy.
Wait, Johnny Cash is small? It's like an opposite Snoke?
Yeah, it's like a tiny. It's a reverse
anti-Snoke. The
It's
reverse
a tiny,
Snoke.
a tiny. He's like a borrower-sized Johnny Cash. He's on a shelf next to a miniature TV and a potted cactus. That's
Did
it's one of those things.
they
Like,
bury Johnny Cash in like a tin can?
buried him in a Taco Bell tostada.
I want to watch the movie that's based on this commercial. Teeny little Johnny Cash playing music in my house. I can't find him.
This is a very wild commercial. I loved it. Also, it made me so hungry. I want Taco Bell so bad.
I'm getting so fucking hungry.
And I had my favorite Taco Bell thing, the Cholito.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can still get in Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
At a Taco Bell if you want that.
It all looks so fucking good. I really, and also the prices is 99 cents and down.
Yeah.
It just looks
59
fucking.
We shouldn't order Sweet Fin. We should have gotten Taco
We
Bell.
should have gotten Taco Bell.
Brian, you're up first for this one. What's your guess?
1992 is what I'm going with. Trying to get a right on there.
1992 is the guess.
Are we tied up?
So right now, Brian has 2 points. Mitch has 3 points. So this one is deciding it.
Wow. 1992. So if you nail it on the head, you win outright. But then if he also ties, he wins too.
You also, there's the Murder Brian rule, which you can insure yourself a little bit if you want to guess a movie that came out in the year 1992, but you're not sure about.
Fuck, that's so hard. A movie that came out in 1992.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one.
Brian's got one, but Brian, it's your guess, so you can't.
It's your guess. So yeah. But I think I do I'm going to look and see if I have one.
Okay.
1992. Why is this such a blind spot?
Ooh, I got one. I had one. If this was me, I'd have it.
Fuck.
Letting you know.
1990 is Goodfellas. 1994 is Jurassic Park. So we're talking 2 years before
Yeah.
Jurassic, or 1 year before Jurassic Park even.
Yeah, I think it was 93. That sounds right. Casey, how are you with the years on film? Or do you think because I don't think in those terms. I can't go back to 1974 and think of the big movie of that year. My brain doesn't work that way.
It's definitely like a movie by movie
Yeah.
basis. Like there's definitely some that I can be pretty sure I got the year down. 92 is a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a bunch of 90s movies, but
right.
Ultimately, not sure.
Oh man, I'm gonna guess Arachnophobia. I'm so nervous, and I think I'm wrong.
Can I do my guess?
Yes.
Too? I already know it's right though. Wayne's World.
Fuck.
You are correct. Wayne's World.
Oh my god, and Arachnophobia is now 1989.
Wayne's World was a 1992 movie. 1990 is when Arachnophobia, the film, came out. So you don't get a point there, Mitch. I'm sorry. The
same year as Goodfellas.
The biggest movie. You're right. You should. That's probably why you had it in the brain because you just said it.
Oh, I think I got it. Can I guess one?
Yeah, please.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
It's not the Terminator 2 year.
91, I think. That's 91.
Yeah, the big
Terminator
movie
came into my head too, and I wasn't sure.
The big movie, Terminator 2 was number 1 at the box office in 1991, but in 1992 it was Disney's Aladdin.
Oh,
that's the Aladdin, The Bodyguard, Home Alone 2, Basic Instinct, and Lethal Weapon 3, and Batman Returns.
It's so Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Fuck, I knew Batman Returns came out in 1992. That's the one I should have fucking got.
But
wait, I can't guess the one I know. I knew if you asked me,
knew it, you
if
can't
I knew
guess
it, I can't guess
If you knew
it.
it, you can't guess it.
So I have to guess. I have to guess.
Yeah. That's okay.
Can you imagine the Goodfellas meeting Arachnophobia? That's pretty fun.
Or Wayne's World.
You know what? The Goodfellas famously, Pesci already shot Spider.
That's true.
He had another spider he can
had
shoot.
multiple spiders to shoot. But you know what he'd say? Spider, we got to team up and kill the spiders.
And he ends up shooting Spider, and they bury him in the basement where they're playing cards.
Murder Brian, what were you saying? Sorry, we were being unfunny for a couple seconds.
Well, no, I was saying Wayne's World mixed with Goodfellas would also be an interesting kind of
that's
mashup.
good.
Like when they pull out a gun, like Wayne and God are like, whoa!
Yeah, that's like a Mad TV sketch. That would be very funny. I mean, they're SNL characters, so wouldn't it be a Mad TV sketch?
I mean, it is. Speaking of time, wait, what are you saying?
I was going to say, like, that's like a because Mad TV would do those matchups.
But it's an SNL
But it's
character.
SNL character, so they probably wouldn't do it. But it would
So
be funny.
only SNL could do it.
But it would be funny if Mad TV just did it. And they cast, like, Artie Lang is like Garth or whatever. Yeah, Will Sasso, whatever.
Was Will Sasso on at that point? I don't know. This is hard to figure out.
Look, instead of killing Spider, they use Garth and they just make him say, "We're not worthy." I think that's his whole punishment. They move on to the next thing.
Were you going to say, look, what?
You've got to guess your year.
All right, I thought you were going to say we can't get into when Will Sasso started on Mad TV, but I will award Brian a point if he can guess the year Will Sasso came on Mad TV.
Oh, I wasn't a Mad TV guy, contrary to what people might think, because they think I would pick the bad thing. But no, I would say 1996 for that.
Holy shit, you are 1 year off. You started the 1997 season.
Which means we would have been tied.
Yeah.
Which means you win.
But you still got to guess the year that this ad came out.
And I'm going to do the shitty thing here, Wags. One last thing about time.
Yeah.
Aladdin and Wayne's World coming out in the same year is such a mindfuck for me because I liked Aladdin as like a child, and I also liked Wayne's World. So it's like these two very it's like I feel like a child when I like Aladdin, but then Wayne's World is like, oh, I like comedy. It just is a weird thing for me where I'm like, what the fuck was I at that point in time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mitch,
a child, clearly.
That would have been the year for me. I think that would have been the year between elementary school and middle school.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was 6th and 7th grade. Either way, there was like a clear going from being a child to being like a no good adolescent, like no good teenager. And so I felt that like gap because I remember seeing Aladdin with my mom at the multiplex and like laughing like a kid, and then seeing Wayne's World be like, yeah, Wayne's cool.
This is how I feel.
It's so funny.
I feel like I maybe saw it on VHS or something. Maybe that's true, but I feel like I saw it in the theaters.
I definitely saw it.
But I was 9 going on 10.
Yeah.
So I don't
same sort of thing.
So I don't know. So that's 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade. I don't know. It was either 3rd or 4th grade.
I saw Wayne's World in the theater and thought it was the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. Like I laughed so hard. I think it was 12 or something. And then when my daughter was 12 or 13, I was like, we ought to watch this fucking Wayne's World. And we sat down to watch it, and I said, this is the least funny thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It does not hold up. That's a bummer.
Oh, I love it still.
I haven't watched it in years.
The Naked Gun. That and The Naked Gun were two movies that were just huge. Like, my daughter was like, you like this?
Oh my
man.
Like, kind of
I love
embarrassing.
Naked Gun.
Maybe you're getting self-conscious. Your daughter was making you feel self-conscious about. Well, you know what? Maybe it does. They are. Nothing lasts forever.
Hey, speaking of which, rest in peace to the actor who played Nordberg in the Naked Gun movies, O.J. Simpson.
O.J.'s gone.
O.J.'s gone. No more Nordberg.
He was so
rest
funny.
In peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, O.J.
He was great in those movies.
There was a lot. I mean, there's a lot of O.J. jokes popping up today. Which I
recording-
almost feel weird about. I don't know
weird
how
about.
to feel about.
We're
a
also like
person dying,
timestamping this
even
because
though-
again, this episode's coming out later. But
Yeah.
all right, let's
I do the same thing.
Mitch, you got to guess.
No, I'm doing the shitty thing. 1993. So that gives me everything after Murder Brian. Sorry, Murder Brian.
You are doing the shitty thing,
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's gonna pay off for me.
and it does pay off for Brian, who got it exactly 1992.
Oh my
Brian
God!
wins.
Oh my God.
I can't tell you how bad I am with years. I don't know how that happened.
That's a crazy
What a
win.
matchup. Brian
That
wins
one
4-3.
That one was thinking about when the Johnny Cash Americans recordings came out. That was
Right.
kind of what I
Smart.
tied to it. I think it came out after that, or maybe it came out during that, and he was just like, fuck it, I'll do a Taco Bell commercial.
That was a fucking good win.
crazy.
I gotta just tip my hat to you.
Yeah, great. Well played. I mean, and back then we had, Bob Hope, Johnny Cash, and Steve Jobs. Now we got no hope, no cash, and no job.
That's true, Wags.
Hope Kevin Bacon doesn't die. Hey, just like a restaurant about your feedback, let's up to the feedback. Today's email is from Karen, pronounced Karen. Karen writes, this is the dumbest thing, but I thought of you fellas and needed to send, has a URL for jackinthebox50k.com. My friend Drew and I were inspired by the Taco Bell 50K and thought it would be a good idea to combine our love of our local San Diego staple Jack in the Box and the disgusting sport of ultra running. We are idiots and masochists who love to run and eat, and what better way to do it? We have to eat at 10 different Jack in the Box, J and the B's, during our 31-mile tour to San Diego, rather. We must have proof of our consumption via receipt. It's absolutely terrible, and I hope we get drunk to deal with the pain. Anyways, I thought you might like how stupid this is. I forgot to mention that this is on 420. And also had to ask a question. If you had to participate in a foot race, what chain would you choose to fuel your run? This could be the meal the night before or during the race. That's an insane thing to do. They're running 31 miles, 50K, and eating at 10 different Jack in the Box along the way.
That's disgusting.
That truly is disgusting.
So what one would we want to do?
I will say that I ran the LA Marathon once. I ran it with my dad, and we went to Buca de Beppo the night before, because that was back when it was just like, that was like 20 years ago. And we're like, oh, you're supposed to carbo load before you run, which I think is like completely discredited, like bro science. But at the time we were like, oh yeah, we should go eat a huge pasta dinner. And the next day, like, why do I feel like shit trying to run 26.1 miles?
Is carbo loading bad?
I don't know if it's bad or not, but I just like, I know that was like a thing that I remember doing.
I still thought that like some sort of pasta or noodle is not a bad choice.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I think you do a lot worse than going to the Olive Garden if you're picking a chain.
I think you're supposed to eat goo now.
Is that the thing?
That runner's goo. I see people running in an air run all the time. Yeah, and they just squeeze something into their mouth. Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick, it would definitely be probably Taco Bell because it's small. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you don't want a bunch of food. Or again, the lazy way out and say Smoothie King, like a smoothie place. Like that would probably be
drinking
the
that
one.
for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And a lot of smoothies would probably make your stomach feel not great for the sugar. And you might have to diarrhea while you're running. So I don't really have an answer because all of my impulses are bad.
I think Taco Bell's not a bad one because you can choose like your order size, like you were saying. Like you get something a little bit more modest. But I know you're a guy who gets a lot of steps in. Are you still like walking like 10 miles a day?
Yeah, 10. Right now it's at 10, but generally by July it's 20 or 25.
Man,
damn.
I'm recording more during the day now, but yeah I'm still psychotic about fucking walking. As I think I got an Apple Watch, which like at first it made me change my move goal to 850 calories, so it's hard to even close the ring.
Yeah, sure.
And then you're like looking at then if the ring's not closed, it drives me fucking crazy. So yeah, I walked like 14 miles yesterday.
Wow.
It feels good though.
It does feel good to get a long walk.
14 miles though is you're going to burn much more than 850 calories. Right?
Oh yeah. I usually hit like 250% of my move goal. I've even hit 400% of it in the past. It just it's basically like if I don't have anything to do for a day, I will get up at like 10:30 and just walk until 6:30. And like for guys, that is great.
Yeah.
Because I just find stuff on my phone. I would feel pretty crazy like sitting at my desk like some guy in a laboratory reading Reddit posts trying to find weird guys in my office. So I think it's better that I walk.
No, for sure. I will say that I again, going back to the one time I ran the LA Marathon, I ran some half marathons as well, but before and after. But the one time I ran a full marathon, I've said this before on the podcast enough times for people to be annoyed by it. But I went to McDonald's afterwards. I got a Big Mac. At the time they had supersize. I got a supersized Big Mac meal, and then with a full sugar Coke, and then I got a Coke Heavy, and then an M&M McFlurry, and it was like the best meal of my life. It was so fucking good. Everything was hitting, and it was like exactly what I needed after I was completely had fatigued my body. But as far as eating on the way, I'm going back to a chain Bryan shouted out earlier. I think a Wetzel pretzel. I think you get some of those Wetzel bites.
That's a good.
Either you have the whole pretzel, you take bites of it, or you're taking the little nugs and you're popping those in your mouth as you're getting your miles in.
Oh, those are great pretzels. Hey, if you've never been to LA, fly out there and get a Wetzel's pretzel. It is great.
Runner's goo is interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know about the runner's goo.
No, it's a whole thing.
About
snack or whack. Runner's goo.
We should do some runner's goo on the show.
You should. It would be good. I'm sure it tastes like shit. I mean, it's like a goo. I don't even like that it's called goo.
No, I hate that it's called goo. Give me a
runner's
bar.
jizz.
Who makes the goo?
I don't know. I'm going to make runner's jizz and sell it on my site.
That would be fun. I would like that if there was a runner's goo and it was like Sonic or Usain Bolt, like it's just filled with their goo.
One of the big companies is just called Goo, G-U.
Yeah. That's the one I know of.
Yeah.
Is goo.
But like Power Bar makes one, Cliff Bar makes one. So like I think a lot of the brands have a version. Gatorade has one.
That's such a good answer. Your answer. I came around. I thought Taco Bell was a bad answer at first, and I've come around on it just because it's so easy to you got a soft taco or a hard taco, you eat it and you go, and it is like would be enough energy, but you feel light enough. I feel like that you would be okay.
Yeah, and also we're fucking hungry, and we watched a bunch of Taco Bell ads. So
I mean, that is a part of it too.
I'm gonna get a Cholito for dinner tonight. It's Cholito night in the Quinby house.
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say a fast food hot dog chain, Wiener Schnitzel.
Wow.
Should just take down a dog. It feels like
that's fun.
I feel like a hot dog, like you could just eat a dry, and if I'm running, I could do a dry dog even. I guess I'm thinking of this like marathon style where it's more like you go and.
Yeah, you got to grab and go or you got to eat on the run. But
grab and go.
Yeah. But going off of what you just kind of yes and what you just said, and you got to go fast when you're doing a marathon, Sonic Drive-In. Get yourself a corn dog, or get yourself some of their regular bun length dogs, and in a bread cradle, and then you're sitting pretty.
You know what I used to love after working out,
and a slushy too. Oh man, how refreshing would a Sonic slushy be on a middle of a marathon? Yeah,
that's good as hell. But you know what else I was thinking could be good? IHOP.
Yeah, IHOP's my answer.
IHOP's pretty good.
If you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at feedbag@birdfuck.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GO-DOUGH. That's 830-463-6844. And to get the Doughboys Double, our weekly bonus episode, plus our entire pre-2018 back catalog, subscribe at patreon.com/doughboys. Our producer is Emma Erdbrink, who hopefully will be back next week. Our associate producer is Amelia Marino. Our engineer is Casey Donahue.
She might not come back?
I don't know her time. I think she'll be back in time.
Good.
I thought she was traveling on Monday.
We need you, Emma.
Please, Emma, come back. Hopefully she'll be back. Our engineer is Casey Donahue. Our video editor is Mike Dorfman. Our guest, Bryan Quinby from the Guys Podcast. Guys, a podcast about guys. I hope people check it out if they're not already listening, and I know a lot of our listeners already are. It's such a funny show. Congrats on the show, man. Congrats on its success. You're such a funny dude, and it's such a funny specific thing you're doing. So yeah, tell people about the show and anything else you want to plug.
Just patreon.com/murderxbrian is the Patreon. We do a show called Guys Plus on there where we take the guys that we've already talked about and we go back and go over some other stuff. Like I'll go look for Pastafarians and stuff like that and just talk about that stuff on the Patreon. And then we have twitch.tv/murderxbrian. That's Brian with a Y. We basically watch this weird swinger couple every Sunday night at 8:00. I want to say before we go, I did look up the Goo website.
Yeah.
And they sell something called Heavenly Hot Puds.
What
and
the
it's
fuck?
Pudding. It's pudding, but it's called Hot Puds.
I hate that.
There's something too horny going on.
Yeah,
in the
that fucking
community.
sucks.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
The Goo CEO is in the lifestyle. Get a little upside.
Yes.
Does the branding have an upside down pineapple? Is that the logo?
But yeah, just guys, just search Guys Brian on anything, and it's gonna come up. It comes up pretty fast. Like it was really bad for SEO at first, but I think now we're in a good spot where you can find it.
Yeah, and there's
the pineapple's supposed to be upside down.
That's your issue.
I gotta fix that when I go back.
The YKS guys have been on a bunch of your episodes. Gabrus was on an episode, and then we were on the Hot Sauce guys episode. If people are looking for a jumping on point,
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for doing the show,
one
buddy.
That's better than us, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You sex guys. Listen to the sex guys. It's the first episode, and it's insane. So there you go.
That'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. And until next time, for the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell, I'm Nick Weiger. Happy eating.
See ya.
Hey, buddy, the whole team is here to tell you about the new hats we have, courtesy of our buddies over at Kinship Goods.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, Emma's over there. She's wearing our classic Five Forks hat, which,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, remains in stock. Mitch, you got
That's
a new...
barktastic, says Jemmy.
Jemmy has endorsed all these as barktastic. Yes. Mitch, you are wearing the new beanie that we have. This is a Doughboys beanie with a red band, and it's got a gray top.
I just realized I stole from Billy Madison. That's quacktastic. Well, that's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine. I'm wearing the beanie. We put it on me, a guy with a big head, to show that it works for you big-headed lugs out there.
It's big.
But I've been wearing that thing, too. I've been wearing it on my normal-sized head. So it fits all domes.
Okay, normal-sized head.
Amelia, I got kind of a big head. Amelia is wearing our Doughboys black and white dad hat. If you just want like a really classic, a reserved look.
Yeah.
Just got the font on there. And then I've got, what I've got on my own head is the gold snapback. So there you go. If you want more of that flat brim sort of thing. This is the kind of hat I like to wear, and now we offer it for our Doughboys fans.
All these hats are comfortable. They look good. They're barktastic. I think that if you're interested in them, you should grab them.
Go ahead and grab them. You can order those, as always, at birdfuck.com or direct at kinshipgoods.com/doughboys.
Amelia, what were you going to say?
Nothing. I was going to say, if you get the gold snapback, you can, get mustard all over it and nobody would even know.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Ketchup on the beanie, mustard on the snapback. You're
That's right.
covered.
And you don't have to be a dad to wear the dad hat either.
That's true. I'm not a dad, and I'm wearing one right now.
Hell
That's
yeah.
not stolen valor. She can do that. Blueberry compote on the Five Forks hat.
There we go.
And then, strawberries and
Ketchup.
gray milk?
Blood.
Yes, strawberries and gray milk. All these hats are available now at birdfuck.com.
Or direct at kinshipgoods.com/doughboys. That's kinshipgoods.com/doughboys. Get your new hats.
Or birdpluck.com. Do it.
Sources for the intro are in the episode description.
That was a Headgum podcast.